What is happening, everybody? You can't go from people to non-people. BOOMA Community Streamer number 47 got a little Blade Runner theme, and I have found a few more victims to bring onto the show that were lured in here, and here they are. They're stuck. Here you are in your little box on the screen. But welcome everybody that's in the live chat. We'll introduce some new people here. Okay, so I gotta say this right though, because she's been on before. Lucia.
No.
Lucia.
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 Yes.
Okay, welcome back.
Oh.
Lucia. All right, we got it. Charley's back. What's happening, Charley?
Hey guys, nice to be here. Nice to have new faces on the panel. This is really exciting.
Yeah, we were talking backstage. I think this will be it'll be good. We got some new culture to bring into this, and then yeah, some different faces. It's great. Heather, what's happening?
Hi, everybody. Thank you all for showing up tonight. I'm super excited. It's really great to meet you all.
Yes. Okay. Janet, part of the Sinaloa cartel down in Mexico. Just joking. Go ahead. Say hi.
Well, nice to be part of your panel.
You've been hanging out for a little bit, right? Like in the Telegram stuff and
Well, I've been with Sabrina since the start, and pretty much with you too. You were actually having challenges with juxtaposition and
right.
For non-vaxxer 420 and Sabrina when I first followed you, and I sort of said to put your ego aside and you'll get along with them great. We had a couple of little conversations around that as the bear lady. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that didn't really I'll say that I was right on some of those. Juxta and I are still in kind of you just got to accept a certain amount with Juxta. Obviously the non-vaxxer thing, more stuff came out, so there's that. But you've been here for a little bit then, so you got to see me at a time where you're like, I don't know about this guy.
Well, you got to feel your way through everything, right? It's not like you can make a decision based on one performance. It's the long haul that matters.
Right. You got to give people a little bit of time. But yeah, you came in during quite the time. Yeah, that was a little exciting. Every once in a while, you got to get a little rowdy with some people because they take advantage of others. And some more truth came out on that. And so hopefully people can be understanding. But yes, I'm glad we're past some of that stuff. And welcome. I'm glad to have you here. This will be great.
Thank you.
Yes. And Amiel, what's happening, brother?
Hello, nice to be here. I on an interesting journey, learning things, and going about. I've been on a path of going down rabbit truth holes for quite a while. I'm a former primary caregiver for a number of family members, and I don't regret it. There's challenges. But I've learned a lot, and I continue to do. One of the people I care for was my mom. And you think you know a person when they're up and able to do for themselves. Right. And you think you know yourself. But when you become a primary caregiver for someone, and I'll put it towards me, I ended up learning a lot more about myself and about my mom. She was a very wise and amazing person. And unfortunately, the people with I'm going to say this as nice as I can, because my mom worked in that industry before she got down. But the people with the degrees and we were told that are smart and we should bow down and listen to them, unalived her and took her away from me. And so I work on things and I do what my mom told me ever since I was a little kid. Take care of yourself. Learn as much natural things as you can to do for your health because no one's going to take care of you like you can.
Wow, it's a powerful experience, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here and sharing.
Yeah, and so I care about people and want to do what I can to help. So
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do here. Build some community. We're talking about a lot of these things, a lot of the stuff. What's up, Robin? A lot of the stuff that Sabrina's talking about, trying to make people aware. We got a couple things to share. Charlie's got some stuff wanted to bring people's attention to. There's so much stuff going on in the world right now that there's discussions to be had, and it's kind of cool to have some more people from different parts of the country, but also the world, chiming in on this conversation. But let's go down to Moses. Welcome, brother.
Hey, Booma. Hey, everybody. Glad to be here. Moses, I've been in Booma's community and Sabrina's community for, well, yours, I think I joined just about last year. Sabrina as well, but I've been following her work for the past like 2 years. You, Juxtaposition, Chris, yeah, and it feels really good to finally see the people behind the funny memes and the great conversations and the tips. And I'm familiar with Hey You Girl Booma as well, so it's definitely feels good to see these familiar faces here. And yeah, I mean, just as Sabrina calls it, stay out of the tumble effect. I think I'll speak for myself. I started with your Truth or Grifter community, and then I found Sabrina and I realized that a lot of them are full of it. So I've been focusing on the technical aspects of it, and I'm 25, so
Oh, wow, you're young, man.
Yeah, I'm super young, but I'm glad that I'm able to see the world for what it is and actually see where it's going, so I can make the proper adjustments for my life, knowing what's coming. So Sabrina usually says you will be augmented or you will be augmented. So make sure that you take on the right choices and that you're gonna be okay with that. So
right,
yeah.
We mitigate the best that we can, and we'll sure. And I think you might be the youngest that's ever been on this panel, so I'm excited to have a younger mind. Maybe we can reach some more of the younger crowd. That would be great, because I think that would be the power that we need, is the younger minds that understand more of, like, you grew up more with the technology that's in place now. You understand the language a little bit more, and how fast we can wake people up if done right.
Absolutely.
We'll see what we can do, but we'll have some fun here on the panel. So yeah, I'm down for having some conversation, but real quickly, Boo Boo investigates. So we got a situation here that Charlie's brought to my attention. And so Boo Boo, if you don't know, is the very first and the original Booma doll created by Liz Hillbilly Hart. And he's done some investigating, and this is important. Seems innocent enough, right? Well, let's get into it. Let's see what Boo Boo uncovered.
Church now. We're going to bring the meter heading towards the crucifix.
Okay, so like that crucifix that you just saw, do you need to say anything, Charlie, to lead us into a little bit more of this?
Boo Boo went to Silicon Valley on Friday, and we take the meter with us in case we want to investigate anything, because we're always up poking around, like NASA, Lockheed, Gilead, all the areas. And driving in South Silicon Valley, we saw this crucifix that is actually a cell tower. So it's enormous. And so we decided to park and take some readings of it. And it was freaking astonishing. It's would you say it's the worst that we've seen? Yeah, it's the worst after taking readings for 7 years. 7 years of readings, and this is the worst we've seen. So,
and it's right next to a freaking church.
Yeah, and the church has a preschool in it, and right across the street is also a preschool. So there's 2 preschools, and you'll see in the video the sort of levels we were getting off of it. And then I also included a chart for reference so you guys can understand what are the FCC limits of radiation exposure, what are the OSHA limits. So
right. So and I've watched the little video here, and so this will give us an idea as we go into it, because it'll be important to try to understand what some of the numbers mean when they come up on this EMF reader. What kind of a church was this? Was it just a regular church, or is it? I mean,
Episcopalian.
It was Good Samaritan Episcopal Church, I think.
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Right in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
All right.
So, and yet these numbers have changed recently. So like you can see on this chart, the building biologists say that, you know, it's really safe under 0.1 microwatts per meter squared. 1 to 3 is non-noticeable effects. 3 to 10 is mild effects. 10 to 100 are noticeable. 100 to 1,000 is substantial and consequential effects. But then anything over 1,000 is severe. So that's what they put. That's their number. Anything over 1,000.
And one thing, everybody with a router in your house, you've got over 1,000 microwatts per meter squared.
Or a phone in your pocket.
So you're having severe effects. Or if you have a phone in your pocket, if you have a router or a phone or any smart tech, you are over 1,000, generally substantially over 1,000.
And this is the FCC, for instance, you know, they used to say that anything over 1,000, or that their limit was 1,000. Now their recommended generally safe limit is 10,000, and they say it's only unsafe at 10 million microwatts per meter squared, versus OSHA, who has put it at 100 million. So as the frequencies have increased in power, the safety limits, they just keep knocking them up to the point where like 100 million microwatts per meter squared, like you're actually cooking yourself. And they say you can't be in that for more than 6 days. Like you're microwaving just the same way you would your food, that you'll actually increase in temperature on your skin.
And you're depending on your mitochondria to handle the oxidative stress efficiently, but they can't because they're being perturbated by all this shit. And only the building biologists are staying true to the initial limits that were established based on the heating up of tissue, the destruction of cellular metabolism, the derangement of all the cells' communication, because it's all electrochemical.
Yeah.
So.
This is crazy. So, I mean, what were the general safe limits not that long ago? Like, it'd be interesting. I mean, I don't even know if you could find the literature, but before COVID, like, for example, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it was 1,000 was the limit before COVID.
Yeah, the limits were what the building biologists still stuck with.
Right. But then at every single technological advancement, they just keep pushing that limit up, saying, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine that our machine does it this much now. Oh, it's fine that it does it this much now, or whatever.
The FCC and OSHA are the ones who are lifting the limits noticeably, but the building biologists and the EMF specialists, they know what's going. I mean, the invisible rainbow, the body electric, all that stuff. It was established based on that kind of research.
And the body electric is kind of the key there, because it talks about how, you know, because the OSHA standards and the FCC standards, the only thing they care about is, does it cook you like a microwave? Whereas the building biologists are looking at research like was in the body electric, saying, well, just because it's not cooking you like a microwave doesn't mean it's not having an effect on you. Your cells communicate using RF signals between each other. And when you're exposed to this stuff, your cells get confused. They do things like release insulin when they shouldn't, or deprive you of insulin when they shouldn't. The opening and closing of ion channels changes based on the frequencies that you're in. So it's more than just the heating effect that needs to be considered, because your entire organism, you know, behaves based on your biofield and your
the electrochemical communication for the cells to function metabolically appropriately.
Wow.
Hope that made sense.
It does. What are people saying here about 97? Was that when the last FCC legislation, or that's when the FCC legislation is from?
I think maybe that's the old FCC legislation, but the actual numbers they've adjusted. So they keep they keep pushing it up, of course, because the technology keeps getting more and more robust. So,
and I've seen, like, you know, fake trees and stuff like that tend to be like 5G towers and stuff like that. I have never seen an actual cross used like this that I know of.
Yeah, well, it's going everywhere. Flagpoles too. Flagpoles are notorious because they're that cylindrical shape, and so you don't notice it, but they do that because those old ones, the ones with the big panels on top, those were the old technology, the ones that were shaped like trees typically. The new ones, or at least the ones they rolled out about 5 years ago, are this cylindrical shape. And the small cell repeaters that 5G is actually running on are much, much smaller. They would just be a little panel on the side of a telephone pole or whatever, so you probably wouldn't even notice them, because they have to have them every 200 to 300 feet in order to keep the signal going, because water dampens the signal so much. So any moisture in the atmosphere reduces that signal. So they just have to put more and more and more and more and more. So this is more the 4G frequencies, but still the levels that we see in the video you're about to see are just, they're indicative of the fact that they've been turning these things up to exponentially higher degrees.
Yeah, we'll get to that video here, and that's when I made this thumbnail or whatever. One of the quotes from Blade Runner is, "You can't go from people to non-people," but and people might think of that as just being all like robots and stuff like that, but not necessarily. Like we're already augmented to a degree, and so the more we get augmented, the more we really aren't people anymore, or what we were created to be by God, the way that I look at it. So anyways, okay, so we've looked at that. We've looked at like the safe, or what they're saying is the safe levels now. Now you were going to look as Boo Boo and Charley and Zane did a little investigating here, and this is what we get. And it's kind of frightening. I mean, it's really frightening. I'm just trying to like, no fear.
And this is from far away.
So, tower.
Yeah, this isn't even up close yet. You guys were like walking up towards it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or crucifix. Averaging about 600 microwatts per meter squared already. And coming up a little closer, it's climbing 5,000 microwatts per meter squared. $25,000, $36,000. Let's see if we can. $58,000. Let's see. The crucifix is right there. So
look how far they are from this thing as they're walking up. Like there's still a tree in between, and they're still getting closer. This is crazy. And then we'll get into some of these numbers a little bit more, but it pretty much goes off the chart here.
got some trees obscuring it. In meter, 60,000. $145,000 averaging just got pulsed. Did y'all see that? Maxing out at 2,500,000 microwatts per meter squared. My meter doesn't go above that. So it's maxed out the meter. 80,000 averaging. That's stupid, y'all.
Yeah, so your device here is maxed out, correct?
Yeah, and it does that with cell phones too, like when they're right next to you. That is, you will get a peak and a max of over 2.5 million microwatts per meter squared from your cell phone every time you get a phone call or try to connect to the internet. But to have that pulsed at you constantly, if you're in a preschool or a church or residential areas, the whole area is residential, people are going to experience effects, and they are going to attribute it to things like COVID and Hanta and all kinds of Ebola, whatever, contagions, lock down, put on a mask, get a vaccine, take some swabs.
Right. And you hadn't even walked up like right next to the thing, but it was where you're at is like the church people would be inside a building closer to that thing than you are right now. Now they'd have a building, I guess, in between, but I'm not guessing their walls are doing too much to stop this. And plus, they probably got routers and stuff inside there transmitting the signal even more.
Yeah.
So when they think they're feeling the Holy Spirit, they might just be feeling a jolt from this freaking crap, man.
That's the damn truth. Just like they do in Egypt for all those retreats and the shamanic retreats in Mexico, things like that, where there's a fucking Tahoe parked outside the retreat, like in Topher's experience.
Right. God, man, look at this. So even with the adjusted levels, OSHA says at the occupational level, they're talking about you're safe at what, 100 million for 6 days.
Yep, that's some CYA right there.
Like guys are gonna be completely like, you ain't gonna have no kids. Your sperm's done. Like it's gonna cook everything that makes us what we are as natural beings.
It's 100% discrepancy in safety levels, basically, from the building biologist to FCC.
Well, I'm glad Boo Boo's on the case at least to bring us these numbers and to bring awareness to this.
He's a good man.
Yep. He's doing good work.
Well, I must say that, you know, when we start the joke about praying the Wi-Fi away, I think we need to start at this point. This is ridiculous.
Right. We have a little bit of fun with that meme, right? But at the same time, prayer is one of the weapons that we have.
Yeah.
That is the most
but you know what is the maybe even sad, that if I show this to people, they will just stare at me in silence and just don't want to care. That's really sad.
Yep. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Well, just to give a little information, they've taken the power source and put it in a form that is harmful to living organisms. But if you take that energy and put it in a form that's beneficial, it can actually help people in a lot of ways. But they didn't choose to do that, unfortunately.
Right, like the free energy Tesla kind of stuff, right?
Right. Yes. And I actually have used it, and it helped me. It helped me in certain ways with my health, and so I know from personal experience that it can be, if done in the right way, it can be very beneficial for people. Just to let people know, because I've heard Sabrina say how there's people naysayers to what some things she's brought up. Well, there's a scientist. Unfortunately, he's not alive anymore. He passed away in late 2019. A scientist by the name of Dr. Patrick Flanagan. He was interviewed. Unfortunately, just about the whole interview was taken off of YouTube. And there was only the last time I looked for it, it was only a small part of it left. Where he was interviewed and he was asked questions. He talked about technology and how technology is used to mass control the public and all.
And when was this approximately, or?
The interview, that interview was years ago. I don't know exactly when it was done. I know I saw it probably 10 years ago.
10?
When I saw it, yeah. And he talked about how the power grid, how TVs, movies, and different electronics were used to influence people in their thinking.
Sure.
He talked about how there's something called the Lilly Wave, and it can go through anything. It can enter into your mind, and how they can put it on from the power grid, the power station. They can put it onto the power grid, and it will go through and come in through your home. If you got power in your home, or you're somewhere where there is electricity from the power grid, there it is, and it goes in. And so they can put suggestions along with that. I wish it was still available so people could read it, listen to it and hear it in his own voice, what he was saying. But he gave a lot of details about different things and all. So when I heard the little bit I've heard Sabrina say, I knew that these different things were possible, what she was talking about.
And it was Dr. Patrick Flanagan.
Yes, Dr. Patrick Flanagan. He was a scientist.
What exactly is the Lilly Wave? The best you can describe?
Okay, so the Lilly Wave is a waveform, and what was trying to be done was to find a way to be able to stimulate the brains of animals for certain length of time without creating a dangerous effect on them. And so they tried for a number of hours. And so they tried different things and kept failing at it. Well, this one gentleman, I forgot his first name, but his last name is Lilly, came up with a waveform, and that was able to achieve their goal of doing that.
They were just trying to influence, like neurally nudge kind of thing, like what Sabrina talks about. They were trying to neurally nudge animals?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And so they took that after he developed it. They took it and start using it in other ways. And someone went back and told him, and he's like, "Oh, that's what they're doing with my technology." And so, any technology in the right hands, it can be used in great ways. In the wrong hands, it can, do a lot of damage, unfortunately.
Well, in this world, it's almost always the wrong hands in power because they want it for a weapon. They want it for power purposes, not for helping humanity, unfortunately. But check this out. So Hope Tar in the chat, Conscious Dimension, the Lilly Wave with Jeff Rentz and Dr. Patrick Flanagan. This was 12 years ago. Any chance this might be it?
A continuing unveiling of the most sophisticated mass scientific mind control and social engineering that the world has probably ever seen and may ever see ever, because I don't think it's going to last too much longer before it comes down on itself. But the media has been, you remember when it was said that the Marshall McLuhan said the message is the media or the medium. All right, well, it was TV. And just as some people were beginning to grasp the overwhelming power and influence and psychological, emotional, mental, spiritual subjugation of that media, TV, along comes the internet, which I think geometrically takes the issue of mass control and influencing that much farther. And then we can, of course, stir into the pot that cauldron of hell, cell phone radiation, electromagnetic fields, which literally drown us. We're living in a fishbowl. 150 years ago, there was no EMF to speak of, except for a few lightning strikes and maybe something from space that dropped in now and then. But we are living in an environment that the human body simply cannot adapt to quickly enough. And the controllers are, 20, 30 years ahead, 40 years ahead in some disciplines, maybe 10 years ahead in others. But the idea of controlling the human mind now is so advanced and so exacting. I'm sure it would have shaken Edward L. Bernays in his grave if he were to be woken and told about it. I mean,
wow. So this, you think this is it?
Yes, that is, because that's the interviewer's voice that I heard doing it. So that is the interview.
Awesome. I'm going to put this into all the chats. So it's going to go on Rumble, YouTube, and Substack, and then I'm going to put it in our Telegram channel so that everybody can watch the whole thing, because I think that is going to be an important one. That was done in they're saying estimated 2013. I think it said October 2013.
Okay. How did you see how long that interview was on that video?
What they have here is only 16 minutes, 16:07, 16 minutes and 7 seconds.
Okay, that's part of the interview. That's not the full one, but still listen to it and get information from it.
Right. And then I feel like I've heard that, maybe just that name, but I feel like maybe Sabrina has brought this up, so it'll be interesting to ask her about that. But I'm going to pin this in the Telegram, and we have it there in all the chats, so everybody can check that out, because that's kind of what we're talking about here, and people have been pointing this out for a while, so now we really got to get on it, because everybody, no one really knows exactly what the plan is, and that's done on purpose. But some people think Agenda 2030, so by 2030, some people are pushing it out much farther. I think they slow roll it, but at the same time, they can come at us quick whenever they want. So we got to be aware of that. Moses, when you see this, do you have any success stories that you could give us about somebody your age that you're able to talk to this about, and they're like, yeah, that makes sense?
So I'll give you the 3 responses that I've got, right? So I've got 3 different kind of friends when it comes to this. So first we have the religious ones that are like, God's not gonna let that happen, God's coming back, it's just not possible, right? So you have these ones. Then we have okay, let's get realistic about this. If what you're saying is true, and the deployment is there, the white papers, the MDP has everything, how can we capitalize off of it? So a little side note, I'm a first-generation American. So my parents are from Africa. My mom's from Rwanda and my dad's from Senegal, right? So I know a lot of I have a lot of African friends, right? American friends and African as well. So the ones that are over there, they accepted it. They've seen it. They've seen the white papers, the deployment, and they're like, okay, this is inevitable. How can we capitalize off of it, right? They're familiar with, I think it's Africa 2063 or 2048 or something like that, right? So their heads at is where they want to bring in that technology to Africa, and then obviously just grow the network, right? So. And then I have the other ones that they just don't care. They're like, they're ready to die, or they're ready to upload to the cloud your favorite movie, World of Warcraft, whatever your favorite video game. They're just ready to go. So these are the 3 kinds of people that I've ran into. So
that makes sense though, man. Thank you for sharing that, because Sabrina calls that out a lot, but that's kind of, I think, great 3 categories to kind of look at as far as the main ones. The religious people that just are looking to God to take care of everything and wipe our butts and boop our noses. And the people that are embracing it, they make it look sexy. They make some of it look sexy.
They do.
They make some of it look fun. When I see some of the VR and stuff like that, because I was big into video games, I was big into watching movies and all this kind of stuff. Ready Player One, when I see that, I'm like, I don't want to live on trailers stacked on top of trailers and none of that. But the Oasis looks badass. You can be whoever you want, and you don't have to worry about all the things you get made fun of in life, or your personal imperfections and all these kind of things that come into play. But then there's I think you laid it out perfectly with the 3 different crowds or whatever. The ones that are just like, we can't do anything about it. It is what it is. So just let it be, I guess. And then the other ones, obviously, he's going to be the crowd that just don't care. I think someone just won the World Cup, and they're watching their sports, and they're happy with that, and they're just going to enjoy life as much as possible. And anything else that comes, they'll deal with it when it comes. They don't care. So I think you laid it out good there. And Janet, the only reason you can, I'll unmute you. I think I can unmute you. Only reason I muted you because a little bit of static goes through, but go ahead if you have anything to add.
That's fine. I didn't want to interrupt. But is there not another group that says that they're not ready to do the research yet? Like
yes,
I spoke to a lady today who I spoke to 2 years ago when she first came down here. She had taken the shots, but I tried to explain to her some of the things that were going on. And she called me today because of the little puppy that we found yesterday. But we got into a conversation and she's, well, not everybody's at your level. Not everybody's willing to research and find out things yet. They want to take their time. I said, at what point does time run out? If you know that something's going on, you've got to at some point, take the leap of faith and look into what's going on. So I think there is that fourth category that just people are not willing yet. I'm not going to say the word lazy because it doesn't sound right, but they're not willing yet to take that step, even though they know things aren't right.
Absolutely. And that's a good point to make, because when you just look at what happened with the pandemic, you have a good portion of the world population that took that thing, some willingly and some not so willingly, but you still see people lining up wearing masks. And they don't believe that any of this is nefarious. They don't have that technology yet. They don't have the ability to do the things that you're saying. That's not rolled out yet. It's not what you're saying it is. You're misinterpreting. You're fear mongering. That gets pushed all the time. And yet, I don't know how much that device is. I think it is pretty spendy. I know some people want like the EMF readers like what Charley has. And if she wants to share a link to those, then fine. But they can be a little spendy. But even at that level, you're maxing out a fairly, publicly expensive device to measure these things. And that ain't healthy. I don't know how you can argue with that. Get a couple of them, test it out, do some research. I don't know what to say. She's got a couple of them that you just had the one that time. Because that's
I just brought the one. Yeah, it's not a tri-field. It doesn't measure 3 different levels like the tri-field meter does, which is good for other purposes. This one's just more specific, more sensitive to RF for cellular bands, the ones that, thank you. This is another one that I have. This is a little guy. This one does the same thing, and it's just basically like a mini tri-field meter. This one's pretty great. It's just not specific. It doesn't give you any numbers. It just gives you green, yellow, orange, red.
You're gonna die.
Right. And this is like the tri-field meter that a lot of people get. It's just a different brand. I could take pictures of these and put them in the Telegram group again. But, once again, this is not about being afraid, right? Like we live in California. We managed to mitigate really well in our house, despite the fact that we're in a dense residential area, that there are towers. We just don't have a router in our phone. Or in our home. We don't have smart tech in our home, so we're able to keep our levels down in our living space very easily without any magical devices. Can you not? It sounds like you're peeing in the background. I hate it when he fills up water when I'm live because it sounds like...
I have a picture in my bedroom too, so if I fill it up, it sounds like I'm taking a pee in here. Oh, man. But go ahead. Oh, real quick. I love it. I appreciate it. A little humor is needed along the way. JK, get a hold of me. We'll be doing a Tuesday together, whatever you want to do, bro. Some more of your research. What's happening, man? I know you're just jumping in and out. So get a hold of me on the email, and not a panel, just me and you, and more of the research that you wanted to cover. Not flat Earth. That's all I want to say right now. But I love you, brother. I'll talk to you soon. All right, go ahead, Charley. And then, yes, I saw one of them had a USB. Was that just to charge it?
Yeah, that was the charging cable for the little one. Yeah. No, yeah. Point being, no giant investments need to get made. Like if you are looking to mitigate the levels in your house, which is a wise thing to do, because you're not getting hit 24 hours a day, every day, by just being, in the stores and in the community. It's not about being afraid of any of that. I don't want people to feel like like trapped. We are adapting to this crap. Unfortunately, we're being augmented slowly, and we're adapting. But there's a gentle and kind way to do that for our bodies. So it's there's some good tips in those videos that we did a couple months ago, I guess now, about how to mitigate frequency in your own living space. But again, yeah, the whole thing is don't panic. We're adapting to this crap. Unfortunately, it is causing harm. So just mitigate your exposure, and maybe you'll get rid of some of your neuropsych issues, inflammatory issues, just fatigue, things like that. Mitochondrial well-being can reestablish itself, so you can heal from the constant oxidative stress that radiation causes.
Right. Yeah, and we've covered a lot of that. I think it was Anne was asking to check something like radio frequency or whatever. We've done, I think we showed a video that you did a while ago, Charlie, where you did like iPhone, an older iPhone.
Yeah.
So you showed that. So yeah, we've done that, and you're gonna have to go back maybe and watch some things, but we talk about that all through this. She's tested a lot of things. Charlie doesn't have a lot of friends because they don't want to hear this. So we are her friends, and that's why this community, because no one wants to listen to us. No one wants to even have the conversation. Look, we're not trying to we're gonna talk. We're not trying to do that to people. We're just trying to be like, look, what is this cross doing? Emitting the kind of radiation that's going to make us all freaking incapable of having children. Let's talk about it. Like, this is great.
And people actually, it seems that they are used to be sick, right? I don't know if you see, they're used to be sick. They're used to go. For them, this their natural state now. It's so weird. Like, it's like or age, or they always have some kind of weird excuse, and I don't know. So.
Yep.
But Charlie, I don't think you're alone with being without a lot of friends, because I think a lot of us are in the same boat.
Right.
It is what it is.
I don't know what friends are. What's that?
I know, right?
I think
what you have right
here. It's a very loosely used term.
Yeah, that's something they're American, right?
Is it Lucia?
Oh my God.
I'm not saying the right shit.
I know. I have a hard time.
I need to see it spelled out. I'm drowning.
Now, you know what's the saying is that you are saying like a
Lucia.
Spanish accent.
No, that's not right.
You were saying that like a Spanish accent, and in Portuguese it is Lucia.
Lucia.
It's different. Yeah.
Lucia.
I can't get it. You're just going to be something.
It's
You're going to be whatever
Spanish,
I say you are, all
you're
right?
more used to Spanish.
Like, you need a new name. Put a new name in there so that I can actually say it, because I am retarded, and that's the problem with having everybody that doesn't have friends has to come here and deal with this guy who talks about booty beads way too often. Right, Charlie?
Yeah, right. But
that's
I'm
a
the
side
asshole.
effect of not having
I'm the
any friends.
asshole that's making them.
She's talking shit, and then she's the first one to make booty beads.
Lucia.
They're boo-boo beads.
Boo-boo beads, whatever you want to call them. Lucia. I know you call it whatever you want to call it.
Yes, just say it the way that is good for you.
Lucia, man. Are you from Brazil?
No, Portugal.
Oh, okay.
Lucia.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that movie called Lucy?
Yes, that was not me.
So that movie was a trip. If you haven't watched the movie Lucy, just let me pull it up real quick. This is one of those. I know Sabrina doesn't get into the predictive programming. I don't know. Maybe they're mocking us, or maybe they're putting it. I don't know how it works, but I believe in it in the sense that I think that they really are putting a lot of this out there, either to fuck with us, create the construct in our own minds, or just mock us. Let me pull up. Right.
Yeah, maybe everything.
It is.
All of the above. So
yeah,
like,
not
I don't
everything
know
works
if-
on every single person, so
Yeah.
they've got to make sure they cover all their bases. You know.
Yes, exactly. And maybe
I
if,
didn't see
if
this
it is
one.
true that we, for example, we are very powerful and our minds also create things, maybe that's also, trying to use our imagination and creativity for whatever they want to create, I guess. Maybe using movies and stuff like that. Put the
I didn't
seed.
see that. I thought Lucy was the one with Angelina Jolie in it.
no, but they're making they have a second one. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you saw I haven't seen the first one. Well, I'm gonna have to watch the first one then.
Yeah, I can give a little rundown without hopefully ruining it, but I think just from what you're seeing, like here, like she gets caught up in some stuff. I think they put like some drugs in her body to run the drugs, and the drugs get released. So this drug though unlocks like all of her brain.
Oh.
And so she goes from being just kind of a ditzy, kind of like, good looking woman to being like super fucking smart, but like loses her like empathy. It's like her IQ just goes through the fucking roof. But then it reaches a point where she's able to do these things like that are like supernatural. Like freeze people and like stop stuff. On that second one, it looked kind of like black goo, kind of like what you get with Venom, the movie's Venom.
She does also in the end of the movie. They are the black goo, where she's built some kind of computer and give the information to the scientists.
Right.
Yeah. So the black goo is already in the first movie, if there are a second. But yeah. And she ended up to be 100% of her brain capacity and is able to use the frequencies and talk to people without phone and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, like telepathic and just like all the abilities. She just got because 100% of her brain is unlocked.
Yeah, just slowly increases. So like she goes through stages of like
stages. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But like she's able to like basically connect into the internet and learn everything and have certain abilities that are insane. I thought so. Like Lucy, I think is the name of the first. Is that the Homo sapien? Is Lucy the first?
I think it's what they say that is they will be the first one that will go to the Homo sapiens. Yeah, the first one in the line for in the anthropology.
Right.
They've used that name a lot too. I think that was the name of like gosh, there was some movie where it was like AI, but it had a name, and I think it was Lucy.
Yeah. Well, Lucy is sometimes also Lucifer, so I don't know.
Right.
That too, right? They play with that one. I was gonna say now your name is Lucy, but now you ruined that.
Just say it. Don't be afraid.
In that movie,
I'll just call you Lou.
Yeah.
I have been following certain things about how the mind, the mind and how the mind is used and all. And there's certain things in that movie that are true.
Right.
And all. And there's, different people from around the world who they've recorded being able to do a number of different very powerful things. Now, depending on what a person's religious upbringing is, they may not want to, it may disturb them in certain ways. But these are things that have been documented. So I'm not going to go any further there, but different things have been documented. So.
Right. Well, they have released certain things to the public, I guess, like the LSD studies and the things that they've done to sleep deprivation and the people from the past. They have actually released that, admitted it, try to act like they're not doing it anymore. But that's the reason Stranger Things kind of blew up too. Maybe not the reason, but like the whole premise of Stranger Things was kids being put under severe pressure. Now, Sabrina says, I am not part of that. That don't call me Elle. I'm not the girl from Stranger Things. However, when she was younger, she was put through some of that stuff, and that's why she knows some of the things she does and has some of the experiences that have helped her tie these things together later on in life that came to her, I guess, while she was in a post office, which I didn't know for a while. We had worked together for a while, and then she told me the whole story, and I was like, she was in a post office, and all of a sudden, the last couple pieces clicked. And
Yeah,
like,
she saw the information because she's a homeowner and something about 6G, and she was like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
and yeah, but her brain is out of. I don't understand almost anything that all of you speak, but I do my best.
You got to be able to understand me. I'm retarded. I can't even say your name. You are now Lou, all right?
Okay.
Is that too masculine?
No.
Okay, Lou. We'll call you Lulu. Lulu. I don't know.
That's cute.
Lulu.
Yeah,
that's cute.
Lulu's kind of cute, right? Lulu.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes. Everything that you can do.
I promise you, I will just continue to butcher your name. It's something that it's a mental block I won't get past. Lulu, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
And then
Lulu.
Yes.
Lulu hang out with Boo Boo. Yes.
Oh my God, no. That story. You know, sometimes I imagine the people that I doing surveillance in your chat. You know, the threads. And they're like watching that story about Boo Boo, and they must freak out. I don't know. Seriously, I think they're like, those people are crazy, and we are.
Yes,
Probably.
We are certifiable in their eyes. So like maybe they overlook us like, oh, these people ain't going anywhere because they're nuts. That's part of my shtick. You know, I got to act a certain crazy. So I have deniability at some point. Or so when they look on this channel, they're like, they're speaking some truth, but that guy's retarded. So we're good. We don't have to worry about these guys. We can continue to just let them be.
The ringleader's retarded. We're good.
Yeah.
Right. The guy that runs and hosts this thing, he's going to ruin it all. So it's all good. We're good here, guys. Don't worry about it. Go back to level 7 there at the FBI.
Yeah. But the laugher, the ability to laugh, the ability to keep things a balance between things that are serious and dangerous and stuff, but also a balance to break the energy of fear. It's important to laugh also. So
yes.
Yeah.
That's what's got me through a lot of the shit that I've gone through. And there are people who've gone through work. I'm not here to like make it sound like I've had it bad, but I've gone through some stuff, and all right. It is what it is. That's why I think a lot of us are here. A lot of us have gone through stuff. Lane here, or Lanessa. Names. Anyways, gate program. We have a lot of people that have been on here. Before I get too much farther, I want to say happy anniversary to Crystal and Jerry. Awesome. Was it 40 years?
40
years. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Anniversary. Happy anniversary, guys.
Happy anniversary. I love you guys. That's great. It's amazing, and that's very rare anymore.
Yeah.
And then while we're on the talk of having fun and some laughter, we also have Boo Boo, the original by Liz Hillbilly Harp, but one D Hippie San doll got sent over to Spain, and boom. Apparently, D Hippie San doll is learning the Spanish guitar. And the kitty's name is the kitty's name Licorice, is it?
Yes.
Yes, it's Miss Cajones. And apparently, D Hippie San's learning the guitar so well that Licorice is still hanging around. So that's a good sign. You know, we got Boo Boo doing investigations over here in the United States, and over in Spain, D Hippie San's bringing the positive vibes, brah.
Thank you, Miss Cajones. Now I'm not the only grown-ass woman taking pictures of a doll in elaborate situations.
I've got Sabrina guarding my house.
Nice.
Yes, Sabrina dolls. So we got to get all of them together at some point. And have a Zoom, and you gotta do voices.
Yes. Oh yes, please do the Zoom with the dolls. Oh yes. You
got it, right? Maybe we'll just record it because I think we'll probably start laughing at sometimes, but I'll host it, and we'll just do a Zoom where it's just the dolls, and we'll try to like have voices and stuff. Yes, and that's the original one, right?
Yes.
Janet got the original Brina doll.
And
wow.
And I've got Booma and Biscuits on order, so she's making a phone right now.
You're gonna have them all in one spot?
Yeah.
Wow.
I just ordered them today. But yeah, she's got a little magic wand. So I need some of those beads, but I've asked Hillbilly Heart if she can send them to me, because getting them from you is almost impossible, Charlie. Because I have to go through a broker to bring them down here.
Really?
Yeah. It costs me 28% in brokerage fees by the time you pay the import and shipping from California to here, because that's where I have to broker them out of. Yeah.
Is that a California thing?
Well, no, it's a Mexico thing.
But with California, because I mean, you're still getting it from the United States if you get it from Hillbilly Heart.
Yeah, but she has to ship them to California to my broker, and then my broker has to bring them down. Some brokers are 35% bringing stuff down here.
Wow.
Well, the good news is I sent Liz a ton of beads, a ton of different beads, and I'm sure she'd be willing to work with you on some color choices.
I asked her whether, did you not have one that was Heart Fire Up?
Yes, I do.
I mentioned to her that I wondered if, when she sent me the other 2 dolls, whether she could send me Heart Fire Up beads, because I thought they would go nice with her.
They're perfect with her.
Yeah. No, she's gorgeous. She did an absolutely amazing job. I was so stunned when I got her, and I showed her to my daughter in Canada, and because at first my daughter says, "You're a little bit crazy," and I said, "You don't understand," because I said, well, it's like you feel a little bit protected, and I don't know if that sounds stupid, but I just feel like it brings everybody closer together when you've got this connection, because the 3 of you have actually, in my opinion, brought community to something that was non-existent, and a lot of us were feeling very I guess orphaned. I mean, all of the people down here basically that I knew, you disowned me because I wouldn't mask up and I wasn't shot. So, I mean, you know, you weren't invited to parties anymore. And I'd only been here a year, so that was pretty tough. Jeez. So, yeah, it's been hard.
See?
That's why community is so
I put a little stand on the back of her because I didn't know whether or not so I ordered the stand at the same time that I had the dolls coming. So
that looks like it works perfect.
Yeah. It does. She stands perfectly well, and it's I think it was a 12-inch stand or something at the time, because I saw how tall she was. But yeah, just holds her up great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so everybody gets a look at the first Biscuits doll that literally just got finished the other day, I think 2 days ago.
Yeah. Oh, it's adorable.
There it is.
She's going to make me one like that, only she doesn't know whether or not she'll be able to find another violin.
Yeah, might have to look those up and order, like, if they're just like a little plastic violins, that'd be, it's worth it. But yes, this is what Biscuits is hoping, that there's no needles involved, and we don't need any witchcraft going on with these dolls. So we only want good people to have that.
Yeah, I think the only craft is love, because Liz is doing an amazing job with him. Yeah,
and he's got
he's got yes. And Liz says that almost all of them are requesting beads now. So beads are a thing, and it was just so funny to me. I guess everything starts with an idea, but it was just a silly thing that I put out there at one point. But Biscuits is happy about the hairline, so he's gonna be okay with it.
I just think it really helps Liz out too, because I get that, you know, sometimes she's challenged financially, so I think you know, with us supporting her to this degree, it gives her peace of mind a little bit too.
Yes, and that's the other part of this community. Down below these videos, whenever we do Booma Community Streamas, I have the links to everybody that has like an Etsy store or something going on. The top ones are Sabrina's links, so everybody's looking for Sabrina Wallace links all the time, so it starts out there. But you got Liz, you got Chris Crutchfield's wife has an Etsy, so she does some balms and stuff like that. Crystal and Jerry celebrating their 40th anniversary. Congratulations again. Her Etsy link is in there, and I use her balm every single day. I love it. It works really well on my skin. And then we got like Ozark Trooper has a children's book. It's the first of like a 10-part series that she's working on. And she helped Biscuits and I out with some stuff business-wise for GG Co. And so, yes, we are trying to hold up this community. So Liz's link to her Etsy is also down there. She's gonna be a busy lady though. She's got a lot of orders coming in, which is good for her as long as she doesn't overdo it. So,
she's got to start doing stuff for her markets and that. She said she's gonna fit my 2 dolls in before she gets to her market stuff. I said, well, don't stress yourself, because I said, you know, like whatever time frame you need, it's fine with me. But she said it'll take her about 6 or 8 days, and then she'll have them ready to ship. But I won't see them for at least 2 to 3 weeks after she ships them. Yeah.
Wow. Because you're down in Mexico, and that's how long it takes, huh?
Yeah, because like you got your Booma doll before I got Sabrina, and I had Sabrina ordered way before, trying to get it shipped here. Yeah.
Right. Gosh.
Right. Yeah, it helps Liz out, but yeah, they also do those festivals or those fairs or whatever they call them, where they also have a lot of days of work. Her husband hides and stuff like that, but then they got like the dream catchers and various things that she has to make. So she's a busy lady, but it does help her out in any way that we can help out the community. That's what this is for. So again, please check out the video description. Most people never do, but if you're interested in some of the stuff that's going on in the community and supporting community members, that's how you can do it on every single one of the Booma.
We can certainly tell you the quality of workmanship is definitely there. I have never seen crocheted items to this level that she does. I'm astounded, actually, because the detail is so finite on something like that. I mean, Sabrina is just beautiful. The detailing that they did on her was just shocking. Yeah. Really good.
Look at the shoes.
Look at that little booty. A boo-boo booty.
This one though, it's got cat turds in it.
Excellent. Oh, Fudge. Fudge is the name of that little kitten, and it's just crapping in Boo Boo's shoe. That's typical of a cat.
Fudge went poo-poo in Boo Boo's shoe. He's still got his glow sticks on. I mean, his glue sticks from the rave.
Oh no, he's hooked.
He was raving.
But he got glue sticks instead of glow sticks. Boo boo.
Boo boo. And if you guys are on Telegram at all, join the chat, because every day there's Lulu's putting in memes. Charley's adding to it with her doll. Now we got the hippie sonnets paying, and we got more people that are putting these dolls, and it's just fun, just having a little bit of fun with them. And,
this story about Boo Boo is growing exponentially. Like, I mean, so many people have dolls, so I'm just waiting for the other people to put also pictures there, because this is going to make just, I don't know, I'm just waiting. This is the first thing when I go to the Telegram. I'm like, let me see what's today. Is this story? The next chapter.
So fun. Oh my gosh. Yeah. What did you say? The Boo Boo's storyline is growing exponentially or something. I forgot what it was. It's so true. It's unsustainable.
Yeah.
How do we keep up with them? I'm trying,
because so many people now have dolls, so I'm just waiting for the others, because just make them do stuff, please.
Well, then that's fun, because then Lulu's like taking like their heads and putting it on memes and stuff, and so is Monica, who's also part of the community. And yes, so you got some people are having a lot of fun. As soon as Biscuits dropped, his head was being put on all kinds of memes, and I was forwarding a bunch of stuff to him. Sometimes I don't hear much from him, and then every once in a while I hear a funny comment back from it.
Did you send him the Zelda and the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit and all that stuff?
Yes, he's got the Hobbit ones, and I sent the buttery song or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Charley, you collect dolls or some kind of special collections too? I kind of get that you have special collections that's part of your life.
Like the Alf doll.
I have a bunch of like 1980s stuff from just like the random stuff in that picture that I put with Boo Boo, with like strawberry shortcake and Alf and the Muppet Babies. I've got that kind of stuff. I was like an eBay seller for many years. And so I kind of did the vintage toys thing. So I do love them, but I've never done setups until Boo Boo came along. And then I was just like, oh, I have the perfect friends for him. So finally, I just pulled him out of the box and I'm like, going to work. And now my house looks like there's a fucking toddler who lives here.
Well, kinda. Boo Boo kind of.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Now you got a toddler in the house, and you got Fudge the kitty, Alf, Care Bears, all kinds of stuff, man. It's hilarious. And wait, does Boo Boo have beads in his beard yet?
He did, but I took him out because he says that they bug him.
Yeah, I get that. But there's the original doll.
Okay.
The best.
That's awesome. Liz does great work, and if you watch her on her YouTube channel, sometimes she's just crocheting and chatting, and you get to watch them in the process of being made. I got to watch a little bit of the Biscuits one being made, some of the Booma ones. It was just kind of fun.
Concentrate on counting, and how do you talk and count at the same time and stitch? I mean, it's fabulous that she can do that.
Right, she's like multitasking like a musician would be, like singing a song and playing an instrument. She's sitting there crocheting and counting and talking at the same time, telling stories and whatever, interacting with the chat. It's pretty cool.
She's hilarious.
Yeah.
Moses, when are you gonna get a Booma doll?
That's a great question. Honestly, I am gonna get a collection. I'm gonna get one of you, one of Sabrina's, one of Liz, and just have a little, a bunch of dolls of you guys just right here.
It's fun, right? Yes, Liz needs to make one a hillbilly heart doll.
Yeah.
She's really good at them. Like, they're very realistic. Like, she's very talented when it comes to no, seriously.
They're made really well too. I've got a couple things from her. I don't have any dolls, but I did get a couple things from her, and she, like the frog.
It's identical.
That's what I have. I have a cat. I have a frog. Might have to go grab them or whatnot. But this is we talked about.
Is that something you do with the butt of the frog or something? Is that the one you've got, Booma? I remember you showing it to us at one time.
Yeah, I'll go grab what I got.
Oh, look at here.
It's descended into nonsense.
Is that like Kiss My Butt or something? Is that what was with the frog?
This is the Kiss My Butt frog, and then Nika has a little friend that came with him.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
And then my daughter took.
Right, I got one too.
Now I feel left out. These dolls.
Right, so there's the little toads. There's all kinds of things you can get. One of her hot sellers for the longest time and still is the Kiss My Butt frog. I got a giant one.
Yeah, yours is big.
Look at that big old booty. Big old juicy booty. I got my sister like kind of the original Kiss My Butt frog, and then she throws stuff in for free for me, and she's very generous. But then I got one of the cats. So if you
that's
see,
cute.
right? One of the kitties. And then I've got one of the ones that she threw in there that she was just kind of working on was the possum blee. So this is a possum mixed with a bee.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Right?
So sweet.
And she just does fun work. It's like, right.
I got the possum. The possum.
Now, is that the one that holds bags? Because wasn't she doing something that holds bags too?
I don't know. She could probably though, right? Hold like just the what you get in grocery bags and stuff.
Yeah. I thought she had one of those, but maybe not.
I know. I'll just set these all up in weird places, and people will come in and be like, "Let's get out of here." There's something weird going on here.
What's going on with Dorian, you guys? We have an intervention.
We can't do this anywhere else, Dorian.
I know, right? And we get the kids again, and we're having fun. It's like what Sabrina says, groovy tunes and just positive vibes, and doing what we can to raise the heart fire, because Fear puts you in that low frequency, which you're more susceptible to some of those EMF and the radiation readings, like what we were looking at earlier. So those are things that we can do. So people always ask for solutions. Like there's a lot of solutions, but just always remember that you're going up against the military grade where they've weaponized everything and they constantly 24/7 are working on new ways of control. And I think that's what they're doing with these wars a lot, is testing out their new drone systems, their surveillance system, facial recognition, and all that. And that's not to push fear. We're just trying to be realistic about having these conversations. And that's the other part of what this community is about. Not pushing fear. Right.
Right. But so you can be aware. So when you have these things that happen to you, you're not freaking out because you don't know what it is. You're aware of it. Then you can mitigate and do whatever you're going to do, move whatever it is that you need to do to try and help yourself.
And also enjoy your life. Remember to enjoy your life, to have fun, to live, because sometimes when we see this, I want to give up. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Just remember.
I have a question.
Go for
it. As far as people who are in the U.S., those of us who are making an effort to do things and notice what's really going on. My thought, and I brought this up to one of my friends who's maybe just one person that I would say is very aware of different things that are happening. I said, well, what about the idea of some of us leaving the U.S. and it could be just temporarily going someplace else to live for a while and then coming back?
Why? I'm kind of scared to leave the U.S., to be honest.
Because?
Well,
because of everything that's going on, and maybe somewhere else. To me, it's just like so much happening, and maybe somewhere else might be. Maybe not all of us in one basket, and just somewhere else might be better for a little while.
But Biscuits, why are you afraid?
Biscuits.
Sorry, Dorian, why are you afraid? Sorry, we were talking about, sorry.
Oh, well, I'm afraid about getting back in sometimes, or I'm afraid, like, I don't want to fly. Like, I don't trust airlines anymore, and I'm not pushing fear. I've seen enough where I'm like, I don't want to get into the tinfoil thing with wings. I don't want to do that, but I also I don't know. I mean, everything that I have is here as far as what I have set up and whatnot. I've traveled to Canada and I've been to Mexico. I haven't gone overseas or over the pond, but at this point, after watching what they've done with who they hire for certain things, like working on the airplanes and stuff like that, I don't trust that. And then I just don't really look forward to updating my passport and leaving the country. However, you make a good point. I could go make friends with the Sinaloa cartel and maybe go to Mexico and be all right down there. That might be a possibility, but I wouldn't have to fly.
Well, the worst of it is you may like it so much you don't want to go back. I mean,
Right.
there is a laid backness here that you don't get. Well, I'm from Canada, so I mean, like, there's a laid backness. I wanted a less chaotic life. And I knew years ago, before I even came down here, that I would never stay in Canada. And I shared a story with Heather and her group one night about putting this all on paper years ago, before I even met my last partner, before he passed away. And I mean, what I live in right now is exactly what I wrote about. And like, I just have no desire to go back to either one of those countries. And it's because the stress levels are less and the air is a little fresher. And I like the calmness and I'm not going to say the security, because I've never felt uncomfortable in Canada, but there's just something different about it. But I'm totally basically on my own. I do interact with a few people down here, but they're very chosen. I don't interact with a lot of people because I find when I'm in large crowds, I don't like the energy that goes around. That you may find that up where you are too. You feel more comfortable with certain people, and then when you get into larger crowds, it's like it's an energy drain that Sabrina talks about sometimes, and you just want to get out of there. You don't want to be part of it. So
load
I mean,
balancing, right?
in some ways, yeah, for sure. Like it's kind of crazy, but people ask me to do things, and I'll say, well, I'll come, and if I don't like it, I'll leave. You know, it's just that simple, because I don't want to be any place anymore where I don't feel comfortable or that my body doesn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Right. What do you do about the water down there?
Well, we have to drink purified water down here. So I mean, there are companies that purify water, but I actually distill my water. I do that myself, and I like, even if I sort of explained that on Heather's group too, that we don't get water every day to our houses, and we don't have pressurized water like you do in Canada and the United States.
What?
We're on a pump system here. So normally, like Mark, for where I live, I get water on odd days. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. But somebody, I guess, did some malicious damage to the pumping station, because what happens is they've got pumping stations that pumps what they call purified water. You don't drink it. This is just for flushing your toilets, washing your dishes and stuff. So that water comes through pipes, but it's only pressurized to your area on the days that you're supposed to get water. So no water will flow to you other than if they put that in place. But we also have towers that it has to be stored in. So if the electricity goes off down here, and that can be a challenge sometimes if it's overloaded, they can't pump the water to the towers, so that when we need water on 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, the water can't come from the towers because there's no water in the towers. So we have gone, some people have run out of water. I've got 10,000 liters in this house, and I got 9 next door. So it would take a while for me to run out. But there's people that have got 3 and 4 members in their families, and they've run out of water. They've had to come here to shower and stuff because they just don't. There's no water. We do have
fast showers.
I'm sorry?
You have to take fast showers?
I take a fast shower anyways, and I like an outdoor shower versus an indoor shower, so it's easier for me. But I mean, I got a swimming pool too, so a lot of the times I just go for a swim. So
you're doing an outside shower.
Oh yeah. I like being out in nature. Where I live, I don't have any neighbors with 2-story houses, and I'll just leave it at that.
Do you partake in perennium sunning?
Oh no, there we go. No.
No. Janet?
Sorry?
Do you partake in perennium sunning?
In what kind of sunning?
Butthole sunning.
Don't say anything.
No.
Just ignore him.
Yeah,
you don't do that? No? 30 seconds of sun right on the, the smallest membrane of the body, which allows you to suck in 8 hours worth of sunlight through your perennium.
No.
Have you
Okay.
been doing that, Dorian?
Not yet.
Are your neighbors watching?
That's and then I got feral cats walking around, so I'm wearing a little feral cat base right up in my butt, which would be really awkward too. What about red light perennium sunning?
Well, I have red light therapy down here, but I don't do it with that either.
Heather, Heather needs a button that can mute Dorian every time.
That's the point of it.
That's never gonna happen.
I'm the one in power. Look, guys, I'm trying to think of ways to mitigate this stuff. All right, you guys make fun of my internet of booty beads, but I think it could be something.
I was gonna post something the other day, and I thought better of it, but I should go and get what I bought the other day for my soap making, because I thought I'm ready for you after your comments to me about getting slapped in the ass.
Right.
I should go. Just a second. I'm gonna go get it.
Oh my gosh! See, I'm telling you, I'm thinking of mitigation techniques. I mean, the red light you can do indoors in your bedroom. We need to have some participants try this and do a little scientific study, if you will. Moses is down. I feel it. Like he's happy. He's excited. If he doesn't have a red light, we might even just pool together some money to buy him a red light and see him have him try it out. It's all about the booty, as Michelle is talking about, right? It's I guess the thinnest membrane, and you can soak in the beauty of that heat and that light right into your body in a record time.
I just want to say that if the same with the traveling, living in another country, if you were inspired to do that, really go for it. But there are no off the system anywhere. You know, some people were saying that in chat, and it's very real. Even though it's very specific from country to country, you can't really, you know, not be in this system. So if this is something that someone want to do, great. You know, you need to be adventurous and you need to be flexible and open. But if you need to be realistic, there's no way to get off grid of anything.
No, I just think some countries are a little further behind than others, but see what I got just for you?
Oh my goodness. Oh, nervous now.
You're scaring him.
Or
I can't forget what the conversation was about. But
she said she was in the Telegram chat. Janet said she was going to give me a spanking, and someone said she was running. And I'll be like, I said, I'm already running towards her.
Some guy named Robin something said.
And now I see you have a fucking paddle. That's different than just a regular spanking, all right? I'm at the center.
He's running the other way now.
Yeah, but I saw this the other day and I thought, oh my God, after that conversation between you and Robin, this is what you really need.
I know, where's Robin? We need to get her on one of these. Or is Robin a dude? Right? I don't even know. Is Robin a dude or a chick? I don't even know.
I think it was a guy, Robin 911 or something like that.
Right, I think it might be a dude. We got to get him on here. Yes, Robin's in the house. Yes, if you have a close friend with a magnifying glass, you can speed up the process. Robin, and we were having that conversation or whatnot, and then Janet was a little turned off, and then she said she was going to spank me, and I said,
"Going to spank you." He said something about getting a spanking, and you came back, and I said, "Well, I'll run toward it, not away from it." And I thought,
know, right?
How did this all happen?
I flipped it on y'all. Lulu, you did an amazing job trying to transition us back to sanity.
Yeah, I tried my best.
I had a counter for that as well because I'm a little afraid to go through customs and get that cavity search, if you will.
Be like, you're the guy with the beads.
Yeah.
Right. We got to make sure you're not smuggling any of them beads you've been talking about in your podcast.
Nope. Room 1, right there, sir.
Oh, gosh. See, I like perennium consent, the consent and a personal experience, but not, I don't know what they are at that level. That's not TSA. I think it's even a higher level than TSA that does the cavity searches, eh? I'm not down with that. I'm not down with strangers doing that.
And I'm hearing if you don't want to get
someone
the
you know to do it.
Oh man!
I said spank the Booma as and Janet. I forget what I didn't see the whole thing now. But anyways, I think it's if you refuse now to get the eye scan or the facial recognition that they pull you aside at the TSAs in the United States. Like I haven't experienced it, but somebody told me about it. Yeah,
really?
That's the other thing about flying, man. You walk through those.
And you have the choice to opt out, but if you choose to opt out, then you've got to go the other route.
Right.
You know, the other route is a cavity search.
No, it
absolutely would be, is what I'm saying. They would on me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they know who you are.
Well, his name's kind of out there, yeah. Well, one of the ladies that was down here is quite politically active in Canada and talks a lot about your president and stuff like that. She's afraid to drive through the States. She won't even land in the States if she flies down here. Because she comes down here quite frequently, but the last time she was here, she said, "I won't land in the States, so I got to fly out of Cabo to go back to." Well, she's in Western Canada, but she says, "I won't even drive into the States anymore because I'm probably on some kind of a list."
Right. I mean, that's what the data centers and all this stuff's been about, even before the data centers, even before people were talking about data centers. They were collecting our data, and your search histories and the stuff that you pay attention to puts you on. I mean, that's the algorithm. It cycles us into different categories, and ones to worry about, ones that are more defiant towards government, corporations, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if you were on the, you got to be a little bit special to get on the list that Biscuits is on. I don't know how you get on that list other than he's like with a unique crowd because you can't bank. He signed up for Facebook, and instead of the welcoming, it was your account's been banned. He never even did anything on Facebook. He is on some kind of blacklist, so he can't get anything. It's very impressive considering he doesn't have a record. He's pissed off some very powerful people, but that's all you got to do is show your defiance or call for justice for treason. And next thing you know, you're getting cavity search at the airport if you dare to go through one.
May I ask how Dean is doing? How is
Who?
Dean doing? How's Dean doing? Have you heard?
I haven't heard from him in a little bit. He said he was going to get a phone card. So I guess because anytime he calls me, I got to go get my card and I got to put in the numbers and I got to pay to like talk to him. And you only get like 60 minutes at the most. And it's like $10 for 60 minutes, which is fine. I've paid it. I've talked to him. And then he has sent me some letters. But after I haven't heard from him in about a month.
That's just a shame.
He was doing all right. I mean, he was working out and he felt like he was getting in better shape and focusing on his health and then doing more studies and stuff on certain things. But I mean, what else do you do when you're locked up, I guess? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does over time. I have given the information to certain people that are like closer to us to be able to write him. So if anybody just wants, just nothing personal, just send him some love. Send him a postcard. Send him something if you can. For those of you that I gave the address to, and then you put his number on there, and they get him his mail, and they'll look through it. But it's just send him some positive vibes, if you will, or if you could.
Well, you can just let us know. You can let him know that we're all thinking about him because I just think that's so unjust.
Oh, I mean, like he's had hardly any followers, and he might have said some things, and he did say some things, and we tried to get him to take some of those things down just to be a little bit more safe because it makes it easy for him. But I never really thought that with the size that he had, like hardly anybody paying attention, that they would have done what they did.
Yeah, he was no threat to anybody other than the people that he was, exposing. But yeah.
Right, and he's just exposing stuff like anybody does. He said some choice things and stuff, but they nailed him for like something, stupid cross-line stuff or whatever because you're on the internet, and then he drove into the district of some politician that he had called out at one point for not doing their job, and because he drove in the district, they considered that a threat. It was just like they trumped up some stupid crap. But I don't think still to this day and part of it is because he didn't do the habeas corpus. To this day, I don't think they technically charged him with anything. They've told him the things that he's facing, but they are just basically holding him. It's crazy. It's crazy what they can do, and we don't really have we have certain privileges, as juxtaposition says, but we don't have rights. If you do know how to exercise those rights, you have a better chance. And we tried to get him to do that. He didn't do it. He missed that mark, and now he might, be facing a long road in there. We'll see what happens, but hopefully he'll reach out here pretty soon, and I'll get an update and see how he's doing. Yeah, but he should have exercised his right and done his habeas corpus, and you only have like 15 days to get that in once they grab you, and he didn't do it. It's unfortunate. So, but much love to him, prayers, and I hope that whatever he's supposed to learn from this, he'll learn it, and he'll be safe, and he'll come back out, and he'll be all right. That's the hope, anyways. But that's all I got for as far as where Dean's at. But all right, Lulu, let's try another attempt to bring us back into the conversation that we could be having here.
I did my best now. Another. Moses, say something. You're even...
Yes, so just to piggyback of what Amiel said, he was asking about if there's any places you can leave. So my thing would be just like Lucia said, and I'm sorry if I didn't get your name.
That's fine.
But,
yes, another one that fucked it up. Lulu, bro, just go with Lulu. We got it. Well, I can't get it either.
she said how there's no escaping the system, right? So my thing is, have your why, right? So why do you want to leave America? And obviously, if one of these reasons is so you can escape the systems, you can forget about that, because there's nowhere you can go where you truly escape. So I'll just speak from experience. I don't want to go to the UK, right? I wouldn't want to go to Europe. I wouldn't want to go to China. I wouldn't want to go to Canada. Like, the only things that are left for me would probably be like some offshore island in like French Polynesia, or way out in Australia or something, or Africa, obviously, but they're extremely behind. So my thing is, you would actually gain a lot by staying, because not only you'll be up to date, and you can also plan your next move. That's just my opinion. But then again, it all comes down to know your why, right? So if you want to get away because you're working too much, or the work culture, you can get away, take a vacation, recharge, come back. But me personally, I don't think that I wouldn't want to leave. Like, I'll just say that I, like Booma said, like, well, I'm not scared of leaving, but I'd rather stay here, because I feel like I'm finally able to track the progression to where we're headed, and I want to keep that momentum. I don't want to fall behind, and then just like all these deployments that just pop up out of nowhere. So that would just be my take personally. So know your why, and then I'm sure you can find like a few places where you'd want to go. But as far as like escaping the system, UK, no. Europe, no. China, no. Canada, no. And yeah.
Have you been following Ibrahim Traore at all out of the Sahel?
I have. So with the whole junta, so it's what's his country? Anyways,
Burkina Faso.
Yeah, Burkina Faso, Niger, and then Ivory Coast as well, and Senegal as well. So they got together and formed kind of this like West African Union, where they kicked the French out. So the French used to have a military base in Senegal. They're gone. They seized all of their mines and started giving jobs to people. So that's what's going on. But I think that his days are numbered, because
they've said that for 4 years now, though.
But the thing is, so U.S. Africa Command, I think their headquarters is in Germany. They put a new general in specifically to take him out, because they're labeling him a criminal, because he basically stole those gold mines, So, and I mean, if the U.S. is after you, they're gonna come and get you. There's no getting away from, if
they were taken because the mines were illegal and they were stealing from the people to start with. So, I mean, it's a catch-22 in that one. The difficulty is the larger countries have more political pull and bigger armies.
Absolutely. But my thing is, from my African perspective, it kind of hurts saying that, but I feel like we do need the quote unquote colonizers, if you need. We need the French, we need Europe, we need America, we need China in order to really grow, because Africans aren't able to come together and create an African Union. So I feel like we would only be able to do so through these global countries like America, Europe, Australia, because there's a lot of debt that they have, and they're not going to be able to pay that back. So we're going to have to make some kind of deal with the European Union or America or China, and then just go from there. Because
but you're in debt. You're in debt because they made you in debt. I mean, it's the same with Mexico. They promised Mexico all kinds of things, and all it did was put us into huge debt. I mean, they brought people in here to do infrastructure changes and stuff like that over the years, and all it did was there wasn't enough payback on it. So what you're doing is you're paying off interest. You're not paying off the original debt. And I mean, that's it. They've done it to every country. And those are these oligarchs that are still wanting to do this to Africa. I think he's, my personal opinion from what I've been following, and I haven't followed him in the last maybe 4 or 5 months, but what he was doing over there, kicking all, and I mean, he kicked Canada out too, because all of it was mining again, right? But he's put roadways into the villages. He's put hospitals into play. He's built schools where the kids can go. He's made it a safer place, even though they still have all of their renegade military forces there. But I think if Africa could get together and stop being corrupted by these other countries, and get honest deals instead of it's all about them and not about you as an African, that he was my hope, to be honest, with seeing change.
I do agree with you, but I have to disagree on the part where, you know, Africa just has to get together, because it's okay. I'll just to touch on what you said, right? He builds schools and everything. Like, they're so behind to the point where it's like, even if you did everything right, you will still be behind. That's why I think that we need the West to come in with, you know, their technology to really upgrade everybody. Not in that way, but, you know, like, I'll give you an example. Sabrina touched on this whole thing when Melania walked down with the robot and everything, and she said that they're using AI K through 12, and they can force actuation, which can basically make the kids focus, force them to pay attention in school. So that there goes your anxiety, there goes your ADHD, there goes your, oh, I can't sit still in my chair. You're gonna focus, right? And how can Africa compete with that? You know, last time I checked, they just make these kids read their lessons over and over and over, and that's kind of the old way to do it. But I just think, go ahead.
I'm thinking I'm thinking you haven't really looked at what's happened over there. I mean, you've even got your own internet service over there. They've cut off the internet service that's worldwide to stop stuff from I mean, there's so much technology going on, even with that new mall thing that he built in Burkina Faso. It's got housing, it's got shops, it's got everything. Like, there's so much going on that's positive without the input of countries like my own and the United States, where they're not taking anything back but giving back to the people. I mean, he even got the people to clean their own streets. Like, it amazed me that he was able to say to them, if you want to live in filth, but why not just go out and clean up your streets, and for free? People were going out after work and cleaning up the streets. I mean, it was amazing what was going on there. I just think that Africa could do so much on its own if you could just talk to each other and stop the corruption where somebody's paying, you know, a leader $1 million to just look the other way. That's what's happened in every country. You know, if you do this, we won't take you out, we won't kill you, we'll, you know, but let us steal from you. I think there was like 90% or 95% of all the gold was being removed from Africa, and 5%, and you own the damn mines, 5% was being left for the people in the Sahel area.
Yeah.
And that's changed now.
I think it's gonna be very difficult, honestly, to be fair.
Well,
and I don't want to be negative because
right now. It's
but
that's
you
not
see,
the point.
I'm not. I hope you're right, but I see it very in Africa. They really are behind. We're talking about the cities are actually they are big cities and very like modern cities in Africa. But the majority of the rest, we're talking about not even water. Simple basic stuff still are need. The education level very low. So it's very difficult for people to even understand, and division still exists a lot. So I think it's not, I don't think that it will happen, honestly, sadly.
Well, I just feel that it's the big countries that have created the problem in Africa. I mean, it's the wealthiest country in the world for minerals and assets. I mean, you should be so wealthy that you would have everything that you ever needed, but you don't, because other countries have stole from Africa for years.
I definitely agree on, you know, Africa being set back because of colonial times and everything. Yeah. But the current world leaders also don't help. Like, they're also corrupt. Like, I don't want to put all the blame on, you know, the colonizers, but like, these world leaders are corrupt. Like, they come in, they just take the money, and then they take like their cousin and then appoint him to prime minister when he didn't go to law school. Like, you know, their mentality is just it's just an African mentality that's wrapped up around religion, and like Lucia said, in order for them to really like compete, it's gonna take a lot more than just baby steps, because, you know, the world is moving quickly, and like I said, even if Africa were to do everything right, they will still be behind. That's why I think that we need to make strategic partnerships with allies and really see it. Like, tourism in Africa right now, you can dumb it down to 10 countries. There's 54 countries in Africa. Where, you know what I mean? And the countries that are succeeding right now, they're your countries that have broken deals with the West. So Kenya, Rwanda, South Africa, Morocco, Algeria, Botswana, you know, like they're thriving off strategic partnerships. And unless these African leaders don't come to an agreement and say we're going to do that, then we're not going to get anywhere. That's just my take. And
Moses,
yes,
do you gosh, how many African leaders were taken out during the COVID crisis? Because I remember
at least two. I remember, I think two. At least.
I think it was 6.
Oh my God! At least I
not
think
as in like.
Yeah.
They didn't want the jab, everything going to the country. They literally died. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There was 6 countries, I remember. It could be more, but yeah, it was the one that I'm most familiar with is the guy. Was it Zimbabwe? No, not Zimbabwe.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Was it, what country was it with the pawpaw fruit that got tested? The pawpaw fruit and the goat took the COVID test.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that. I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
There was a leader, I thought it was in Africa somewhere, where he was testing like all kinds of ridiculous.
Yeah, they all tested positive.
And they all came back positive, and then he died, and then they ended up
being
taken out or dying.
Yeah.
Not long after that.
Because everything, like when we see things and we see new leaders and things changing in a place, I'm maybe in a more negative way of thinking. I'm not saying that I'm not, right, but I am always for me it's like, okay, so they are letting this going in that way, but they will never let those countries be free, really self-govern and everything. And actually, it's good to see Moses saying that yes, Africa needs the more developed countries, because when I say that, they say that I'm racist, and I'm like, no, I'm not saying like that. I'm just saying that we could so much help for real, and they will really to catch up, because at this point the African continent is very behind of things like China. China is, in terms of technology, they don't care. They're just straight forward.
Yeah. Well, I just think that, you know, it'd be beautiful if these countries were altruistic, but they're not. If they go back into Africa, they're going in with the idea that they're going to get what they want and the rest will just be, you know, that the country can't survive that way. It needs to stand on its own, and it could if they could just get all the countries to work together.
Yeah.
Well, just
Okay,
like
here in Europe, we had, for example, in Italy, we had this lady. Now they're there, and they were like, "Oh my God, you know, she's going to change stuff in Italy," and she's just doing the same stuff that the others. We see in Argentina, oh my God, they're going to do something different, and then what we see, here he is, you know, partying with the same leaders. It's just like they will change things, but they're always in a limit. They're like this invisible wall, and they don't cross it. Sadly.
So I think by 2050, the population of Africa is going to be $2.5 billion. Not dollars, 2.5 billion people, and the people in charge know that. And I don't know if you guys ever heard about it, but there's an initiative called Africa 2063, and apparently, like, they're gonna revolutionize it, you know, with smart cities and everything. And okay, so now what does that mean? Are we gonna look at another Red Rwanda type of massacre? Because a lot of people have to go. Like, you know, when you look at the average African, and I'm sorry to say that, like, that mentality cannot, you know, it's not going to be able to compete with the average person of each country. Like, I'm African, yes, but I kind of look at myself like a fake African because, so I traveled kind of all over the world. So I'm very cultural about the different cultures of the world. And I think that's what helped me see that Africa can do a lot more, but not with an African mentality, right? So you can come to America and see, okay, things are being done differently here, and you can also take that and adapt it over there. A person who's never left Africa cannot think like that, and that's the average African for you. So, yeah, I mean, I already know they have a plan. I don't know what it is though, but they have a plan. I'm just predictions over here. I just know that a lot of people are gonna magically die in order for, you know, in order for us to really see Africa's true potential. They have to come in and put the people in charge and everything, and they're pouring billions into Africa. I'm sure you guys know the Bill Gates initiative, the vaccines and everything. Ginkgo Bioworks, they're all making those deals, and they're holding the data as well. So slowly but surely we'll get there, but definitely the average African cannot comprehend all of these systems and stuff if you haven't really left Africa. It's just my take.
Yeah, like Biscuits always does, until they start remedying the treason, there is no justice in the entire world. So a lot of what's going on seems to be them just taking mineral rights in different areas for the technology purposes they need, whether it's lithium or silver or these other precious metals that they need to create.
There's everything.
Right. They're just using everything and moving forward with their plan. So I don't.
Well, the wildfires in Ontario right now are all about copper. They've lost the homes of 3 or 4 native bands up in that area. My daughter is 8.5, 9 hours away from where these fires are, and she can barely drive and see where she's driving. That's how bad it is. I mean, they're doing it everywhere, and I mean, it's all toxic air that they're sending through to the States and through Ontario right now.
Yeah, Velvet that I have on, she's up in Canada, and she said she's like 700 miles away from the fires, and it's like horrible where she's at. She sent me some pictures and stuff, and it's coming down into the States, but also all over there. It's so bad. And then I think there's what's that?
Isn't she in British Columbia?
Might be. I can't remember. I get things mixed up with Slamtastic.
That would be weird if it's gone that far.
Well, she's 700 miles away, and it's still hitting her and causing massive issues just with their their sky and their quality.
Oh yeah, it's horrid.
It's also, I think there's a massive fire in South Dakota. I think my mom was talking about. Like, there's fires popping up everywhere where I think it's like just like the hurricanes and all that other stuff. They're pushing people out of certain areas.
Yeah.
They'll be able to go in and mine the resources. In North Carolina, there was a bunch of lithium areas where they could go in and start mining, and you get the people to not want to live there anymore. You push them out, burn their homes down.
What are you going to do?
Government, BlackRock, to come in and buy that land up.
So, and then people are being urged to get together and rise up and do something. And to some extent, if we're being neuromodulated and perturbated, we have trouble organizing our own thoughts, let alone a movement. And that's deliberate. So it's tough to say, like, why can't you just get it together when there are systems scrambling, are deranging our neurons?
Yeah.
So,
and then what do you do? Because if you go to the tribunals, right, there are no justice. So what you're going to do for stop that? So it's really, I mean, I do believe that in certain areas, specifics, in certain communities, they can eventually, sometimes we see it, they stop things, right? They can stop things maybe for a couple of years or something like that. But in general, it's very doom and gloom, because we don't really have a real authority, for changing stuff, making it better.
It's definitely challenging.
Yeah.
It's an adversarial force on our collective human spirit that is challenging us to really push through the soil, the fertilizer, everything that's packed on top. We're just literally in. Sounded like he was peeing again.
Attaboy. Keep it coming.
But so, the adversarial force makes us stronger. So I firmly don't subscribe to doom and gloom outlook about this. This is actually an opportunity for us to show how powerful God's design is and mindfully move through it with deliberate grace, you taking those more pessimistic perspectives and just setting them aside and just taking the steps anyways, walking through the valley of the shadow of death, not running.
When I say that, I'm more speaking to a global movement.
Right. No, I agree with you.
Right. Yeah. Because yes, I do agree with you. When we go smaller, the individual level and small communities, yes, 100%. But I was more talking into a more global, big. I don't think that is possible. But smaller, yes. Individually, yes, because you can, adjust more easily, and there are less control, because still control, but less, yes. But I was more talking about the country, more bigger communities.
Right. Yeah. And I was just piggybacking really off of what you were saying, because I agree with that. But I mean, I just feel this pressure on the human spirit, and it's really hard to not get down about it. The chat was talking about, like, well, how do you feel it when you feel like you're being hit with frequency, or you're exposed to higher levels? And some people say it's in the frontal lobe, right? Some people feel ringing in their ears. I don't know how it works. It's a different experience for people neurovascularly, where their liabilities are to begin with. But being mindful of that kind of stuff is going to get us, I think, the furthest right now. If you can start getting in touch with the way these fields make you feel. And when we've been living in them for so long, it feels normal. That's what happened for us when we got rid of our router 9 years ago. It as some of you know, like it proceeded. It was because we were having nosebleeds and stuff. We put together, it was a smart meter and the router, and had a guy come out and we resolved everything, but we noticed that when we were in fields now outside of our safe house, essentially, we would feel the symptoms. We could really feel the towers. Not so much anymore, because I really think we've acclimated to it. But if you can take notice of your body's systems, I mean, Sabrina talks about that a lot, right? Like people can't feel their own skin anymore, but I think we all can if we direct our attention at it, right? I mean, it's not a fun thing to think about, but it gives you a good heads up because your body is reacting to those electromagnetic fields. And these are systems that we have built into us by God. So I don't know. That was more of like me thinking inside my head and saying it out loud. Sorry.
That's how it works. We're trying to figure it out. There's no like one answer. So we're just trying to talk through it and figure out like what we can do. So Sabrina just finished her North Carolina class. She has one more in Alabama next weekend. She did South Carolina, then this last weekend or yesterday was the last day of North Carolina. They're having a great time. People are like super stoked. They're in the biofield concurrence of one another in a place that feels safe, and they're learning about this anatomy that hasn't been taught to us. So things like that are really helping a lot of people. And I think because this one was in North Carolina, Chris Crutchfield was there, and I think they took like a lot of professional video, and there's going to be some things that'll be put together. So some people have been asking if Sabrina is going to do any classes online because they can't make it to some of the physical classes. So I think through this, there will be some of that displayed so people can see kind of like what's going on at these classes. And then this week, we're going to be recording the second workshop reunion for people that have been to some of the classes to learn more about it. But that also is part of us, like what Charley was talking about. Knowledge is powerful, and then learning about the different ways we can protect ourselves in our homes and our environments, and then the things that we don't get taught in school because they don't want us to know about. Those are the things that Sabrina's bringing to some of these classes in person. And so we'll get to more of those. And then someone was asking earlier if we're going to get back to the Jeopardy and all that kind of stuff. Heck, yes, we are. Synergist Games will be back after Alabama's done. Praise God, because I'm excited to get back to that. People are really enjoying that. And we'll get more PDFs and get some more of that fun going and whatnot. And then always a fun one in the chat, Region 9 till I die, 231. Just trust it, whatever the plan is. LOL. You got some funny stuff in there, but it ties to something I wanted to share real quick just to kind of break this up. It's kind of fun. I've been enjoying some of this guy. He goes by Bobby Sauce. He's at Take Naps on X, but I want to see what he has to say here. I have not watched this, but I've enjoyed some of the stuff. He's kind of a funny guy. He has a plant. Okay. Diamond hands, art of the deal, ADD chest, top secret operation. Let's get it.
Listen here, Patriots, okay? Everybody needs to understand that President Donald Jerusalem Trump has a plan. And I'm getting really freaking sick of all these panicking, not understanding that President Trump has a plan. The other night, in his primetime arrest, he revealed top secret documents that were completely redacted, and he told us about all these people committing treason, which is part of partisan Operation 4745. It is a super secret, top secret military operation, okay? He's going to arrest everybody in the deep state in 2065, when Baron Trump is the emperor of the earth, Patriots. You just need to hold the line. You need to understand. You think Donald Trump wrote out of the deal without having a plan? Okay? You think he wrote out part of the deal? Part of the deal? You don't think he has a plan? You don't think he has a plan? I invested my entire 401k into Trump coin and Melania coin, okay? You just need to hold tight, okay? Golden hands, okay? Laser eyes, all right? You need to hold on to your Melania coin. It's going to be worth $8 billion a coin, okay? Melania coin is going to be worth $800 billion a coin, okay? This is a military operation. Nancy Pelosi died 34 years ago. It's a meat puppets in a meat suit, okay? Everybody in the deep state's going to be arrested. Cat Turd has a super secret inside line to a military covert ops. He has a plan. You really think Donald Trump has a plan? You really think President Trump doesn't have a plan? How do you write out of the deal and not have a plan, okay?
That's what right there at the end is what he really looks like. This guy's like me. If I could, he's so sick of these dumbasses online pushing all this junk garbage constantly, and it's just like he loves to make fun of him. And I appreciate some of the stuff that I see from this guy. This guy has deep intel. Protect him at all costs. Exactly. But that is, and the ridiculousness is, and even though he did that in like an extreme way, a little version of like maybe like an Alex Jones kind of a thing, but taking it to the Q level, that is the kind of crap that they're out there saying. People that are like, that were like part of MAGA or part of the Q movement that are starting to like question things and turn on Trump. You're getting all of the influencers that have like the bigger platforms calling them panicans. Stop panicking. The plan is going as it's supposed to be as they fight the deep state, taking down the cabal. Follow the cabal continues, and all this junk is still being pushed out there. Like, I mean, some of that he's being obviously outrageously ridiculous, but at the same time, when you listen to some of these fools out there, I would not be surprised. I've already heard Wano Savin moving on, already preparing for when Trump leaves office to continue forward as if the military operation continues even when he's gone. And we're not even at midterms yet. I've heard these guys setting up their grift to continue. And it won't be surprising if Trump leaves and whatever happens, they'll say, just like when Biden was in office, say a Democrat gets in or whatever, they'll continue the lies forward. And then Baron Trump he will come into play. Those books, Adventures of Baron Trump or whatever, that came from like the late 1800s or whatever that crap was. Who knows? Probably CIA planted freaking books that just popped up out of nowhere. If they existed, then I don't freaking know what's going on. But that's the kind of shit that they're always pushing. Robin Williams, Michael Jackson, Elvis is still alive, Marilyn Monroe, they're all still alive and just waiting to come and say, hello, world, we've been hiding and waiting for this moment for us all to come back together in the beauty of utopia and the golden age is here. As Trump is just making him and his family money hands over fist as much as seems possible and doing everything that Israel wants and becoming the war president of all time.
And doing the Trump Fair. And the Trump Fair symbolism is the same as the World's Fair.
Where is that happening?
Paris Fair.
Yeah, the Trump Fair.
Where's that at?
He's doing the Trump Fair like a World's Fair, but the Trump Fair. And he's using the same Trilon and Perisphere symbolism that they've used for the World Fair.
Oh dear.
So, it's whatever he's involved with, whether or not there's a hand shove to high up his ass or not, is deep.
Oh, he's the greatest magician, though, right?
He's the white magician.
Right.
Or the white magician. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that was the event kicked off on June 24th, went through the July 10th. So that was in the DC area. Oh yeah, that was when they had all those storms too that came through. So always people showed up and then they had the fucking storms come through and wreak havoc, cause a lot of problems.
Right.
What were they doing there? Because it's like they had the UFC event at the White House and they were talking about, oh, there's storms in the area. And I was like, yeah, well, they have control of that shit. So they'll just make sure that doesn't affect the fights, which were outdoors. And then they have the fair and they bring in like a whole bunch of hardcore winds and stuff that caused a lot of damage and ruined a lot of people's time there. I don't know. But right after the World Fairs and all that stuff, we're seeing all the signs are there, and these people that are now being accused of being panicking because the influencers have to keep them in line and keep them trusting a plan that no one knows. It blows my mind, and that's why I continue to expose them. And I am working on another one that might be a little interesting to some people, and other people will be like, I don't even know who that guy is. But I'm getting a little addicted to looking up people on their records, criminal records, and all that. And so a lot of these people are criminals, and they have, in their mind, maybe no other choice, but they've shown in the past to be compromisable, or they're already compromised, and so therefore they're easily talked into it, or they're felons, so they don't think they can make money without working like hardcore jobs or something like that. So then they're willing to lie to people, and they pretend that they're Christians and all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, I've watched it over and over again. So I'll keep exposing that, sharing Sabrina stuff, and then doing community stuff. So, but that guy, Take Naps, Bobby Sauce is, I like what he does. It's funny.
Yeah, that guy's a kick.
He is a kick. Janet, you got one of your boochies.
Trooper.
Trooper?
Yeah. He's 3 years old now. He was just about dead when I picked him up off him. They didn't think he.
And now he's thriving.
Oh yeah, 3 years, yeah.
And he's your protector. If anybody gives bad energy, and he walks them down.
Well, between him and my husky, yeah, I've got a Siberian husky, and if his hair goes up on the back of his neck, you don't want to be around him.
Okay.
He's usually a really laid back dog, but let me see if I can find him.
You got 4 kitties in there. Let's go to our reporter there in the Pacific Northwest. Hey, you, Two Fingers, Heather. How you doing down there? How's it going?
I'm good. I'm just chilling.
Yeah, you're just
Listen.
chilling. You got your
I'm
headphones
just chilling, listening. I do. I think there might be a little bit of a lag, but so hopefully I'm not going to talk over anybody.
All
So
right.
this one's Juan.
Juan.
He was supposed to be the only dog I had, but I at one point I had 9 dogs I was fostering until we could find homes for them. But yeah, he's been here the longest. He's been here over 7 years. Yeah.
Oh.
So
sweet.
yes, he's my main man.
Just chill.
Beauty. But yes, happy belated birthday to Hey You Girl.
Oh, thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't know if you were going to say that because since the cat's out of the bag, can we all sing?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
you
take up
want
a
to
good.
sing happy
slow.
39th birthday? 39th, right? 39th birthday?
That's right. 39.
Right. She's 39, everyone.
Here we go. Wait, hold on. I need Zane. We'll do it when Zane's here because he has the guitar. It'll get really embarrassing.
Is he going to pee at the same time?
Yes, sir.
That's the way we do it here.
So this is Missy.
Oh, what is it? It's Mitzi?
Missy.
Or Missy? Missy.
Yeah. Somebody dumped her on the street. She was domesticated, and they dumped her on the street. She has a broken jaw that can't be fixed, so she can't be on the street anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, she's the oldest dog that I have. Yeah, that's Missy. Now we got to see if I can get Shadow to come. He's a little more difficult. Sometimes his own mind.
Well, Mexican dogs.
Is Shadow the husky? Because huskies can be a little temperamental.
Right. I want to hear some talking from this dog. Sometimes I get
cartel dogs. 100%.
The cartel dog.
They really are vocal too. And they have the personality of what shows right in their face.
Right. Well, hopefully she can get this one, and then we're gonna sing you happy 39th birthday. Here we go.
Did you say hi? Oh.
Does she talk? Or he talk?
It's a him. This is Shadow. He's a purebred Siberian husky, and the family that had him couldn't afford to keep him anymore. They used to keep him tied up to a tree on a 3-foot cord.
Oh.
And he ran away once, and they dropped him off at my house, and then he went back home, and then they brought him over and said we can't keep him. So he's been here 6 years. Can you say hi? Look in the camera. Look, say hi. You gonna say hi? Yeah. Oh, and of course, Trooper's jealous now because he's the one who needs all the attention. Thank you.
Aww.
If we start swinging,
Oh, there you go.
if we start singing happy birthday, are they going to join in?
Oh, I doubt it.
He's coming right now.
Okay. Where are you at, Zane? Are we ready? Yeah. Okay, we're going to sing happy birthday to Heather. Charley, you start us off.
Happy birthday to
you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear dear. Happy birthday to you.
Parabéns a você.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate you all.
That's pretty good.
I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to let it go. So
No.
I don't know.
I don't think you will.
We'll see. We'll see.
Thank you, everybody.
No, I haven't had anybody jumping on the memes of that one yet, but maybe it'll die. We'll see.
Well, it might have until now.
Girl, you talking shit? Fuck off, then. What the fuck? Nobody talking shit coming in here.
What is she saying? I can't.
None of us. We all have to, keep our jobs or things because we will not make it in the music industry. Just saying.
That was, it was bad, but it's funny at the same time. I don't know if we have a little bit of lag between some of us.
A little bit. But it was still awesome.
Awful.
Yeah, it's all in love. It's all in love. Except for Shalom Girl. I don't know what your problem is, lady. You can leave. But happy birthday. Everybody's loving on you. We got happy birthday to Heather and happy anniversary to Crystal and Jerry. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Well, what do we want to talk about next? We got a little more time left. You want to chat a little bit more about these things?
The topic, I got a couple things that I pulled for the topic that are in the Telegram chat. If you want to go back to the transhumanism thing. Because in Heather's chat, I forget if it was Judy or Julie, but they had posted a book about autism and transhumanism and the connection there with vaccinations. And I was like, okay, I've never heard of this guy before. It's on Amazon Audible. So I got it and I just started listening to it. And it's very provocative.
What do you mean provocative? Like, what's the point of this?
Autism being a symptom per se of transhumanism is the angle as administered via vaccinations.
Well, it kind of makes sense, like, autism, they are very disconnected from the outside. And maybe that's some experimentation how to do that and keep people then, pacify or something like that. I don't know.
I think autism, I don't think autism is the goal of the transhumanists. I think it is like maybe the kind of damage they don't want to talk about and look at that is incurred upon people, like the canaries in the coal mine, as they release these systems upon us, right? We get knocked around and some people get knocked around harder neurologically.
The younger you are, probably too.
Yeah. I mean, the infant vaccinations and those developmental moments in their lives through their early childhood. Yeah, Monica.
Well, and they're very sensitive. Like everything is sensitive to them. Their skin is sensitive. Noise is sensitive. Those that are just constantly overstimulated. That's the point of the headphones too. For a lot of them, it's to block out some of that.
In sensory processing disorders, I'm sure, Moses, you must have friends being 25 years old who are classify themselves as neurodivergent on many levels, whether it's sensory processing disorders. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Would love to hear you speak on that a little bit because we're all old. So coming from your
for yourself. Speak for yourself. I'm 39.
Not you though, babe. Not you. Not you.
So yes, I do. I am familiar with a lot of neurodivergent individuals. I know some of them that have autism. Some of them have ADHD, ADD. I have ADD personally, right? And I just think it's a byproduct of all the vaccines that I got as a child. That's just my opinion, right?
Mine too.
Although they do say that, when the mom carries the child, if she's under a lot of stress, that can have some factors towards it. But whatever, right? As far as the whole transhumanism and the link between being neurodivergent, when I was a kid, so I'll make a long story short, right? Obviously, everyone here knows the movie Avatar, right? Blue tall people, right? Yeah. So I watched it when I was 9, right? Came to 2010, I was 9, yeah, or 10, whatever. And I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, I can't wait for the future, get on a spaceship, go out there, explore, like I was so excited. And then I got my bubble burst. I really saw what it was for what it is. And I was disgusted. I didn't want anything to do with it. I'm like, yeah, this is so wrong. It's disgusting. It's weird. And for people my age, Booma started with this. We're so used to all of this, the surveillance, the data collection, the systems, the food, the culture. So it takes a lot of character to look at that and be like, okay, I'm either not gonna associate with this or I'm gonna go full on head first, right? Yeah. And I feel like the only way to get to that point is to break down the technical systems, because I watch a lot of Sabrina's educations, right? And like I don't just play the video, like I literally sit there, she says something, I'm like, okay, write it down, Google search, boom, okay, boom, right? And that's why I love Sabrina, because she's like, don't argue with me, look at my screen, I'm reading it right here. This is not me this is me right here, right? So once you actually learn how your body connects to the system, and then you can actually feel it too, it's like, okay, what the actual F, right? Yeah. What the F? But I don't blame my peers I don't blame them for diving in this head first, right? Because some of them are like, okay, like what am I gonna do? Like I'm 25 years old, I have my whole life ahead of me. Like I want a life, I want a future, I want a family, I want, and yeah, but most of them are definitely embracing it. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of sad, because they're just like, oh, whatever, like I'm just gonna bend over and just do what I'm told, right? I mean, like nothing new, right? Yeah. So that's that. We're very working towards AI data centers. Like Sabrina says, like the youth know about all of this, right? And they're embracing it. It's like the older folks are like, yeah, it's not here, blah blah. But,
yeah, that's how it's been, I think, for most all of our generations. Like you get to watch the extremism on TV, but that's just celebrities. That's just that world. You're not allowed to act like that in like public. Like for the longest time when I was growing up, I was like, don't get tattoos, don't get weird piercings, don't have like all these other things that are now socially acceptable to an extreme now, where it's like you're almost getting hired because you have blue hair or whatever. And I'm not talking people have freedom of choice or whatever, but it's been a whole movement that has changed. But when you have like dreams, or you're like, or you have thoughts that are like outside of mainstream, like go to school, get a job, get a family, and all that kind of stuff, you start talking about something else. Like I wanted to get into movies and stuff like that. I had some support, but most people are like, oh, it'll never work. Oh, you're not going to get anywhere with like that. Most of the time you won't. Not saying that, whatever, but like they don't want you to follow your dreams. You start talking like in that dream language, or where you're going to do something like what you're talking about here, like some of the things you aspire to do, some of the things you want to do in life, and the world just shits on you. Yeah. People really mean it, but they're programmed to like almost shit down anything that's abnormal in their thinking.
It's
you have
not
to
realistic.
stay in line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just do what you're told. Don't rock the boat. Keep your nose clean. These
Don't
kinds
take
of things
risks,
are constantly said
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Just be average. Just be average.
Literally,
Shut up.
yeah. Just be average, and
Yeah.
all of these kids cannot just think for themselves, and that's why critical thinking is so important, because it's like, okay, how about you take the information that you've been told and fact check it? It doesn't hurt. We live in an age of information. You know, fact check it. You'll find otherwise, but it also takes a lot of willpower. You know, people are tired. People don't know what's going on. They're lost. They're tired. They just want their solution handed on a golden plate. And if transhumanism is their solution, then it's like, okay, great. You know, I can upload to a neuromorphic chipset and live in my fantasy. Great, no problem. Sign me up. Right.
Hey, Moses.
Yes.
What opened your eyes? Because you said at first, you know, you liked that movie and all. What was the turning point for you? It's like, hey, something's wrong here.
With the movie or just like in general?
In general.
Okay.
Okay.
What was the movie though? What movie?
Avatar.
Avatar. Okay.
James Cameron, yeah, Blue Saw people, yeah.
They just did the third one. I didn't even know.
Yeah. My turning point. To be honest, it was probably around 2019. That's when I really started getting into it, right? Really started getting into it. And then with the whole COVID thing, it just went, okay, yeah, something's effing wrong. 1000%, right? But as far like I'm kind of a nerdy kid, right? Like I love science, systems, technology, right? So as a kid, I was watching those kind of movies, right? And I just thought that, you know, it'd be so great for the human race to just advance technology in technology and then just go out there and explore, right? But then I realized that not only they're lying about it, and that's just my opinion, right? That's not what God intended for us, right? So I consider myself a Christian, a real Christian. And I believe in Jesus Christ. He's my savior. And it's just so like away from what God intended for us. So in a way, like it does sound exciting, but what breaks my heart is, you know, once you upload, you know, Sabrina mentions this a lot, once you keep augmenting, at some point you can't revert back and you have to keep getting augmented. And if you don't, then you're just gonna get recycled. And they're getting in between, you know, the true afterlife that you're supposed to experience, and they want to take that and just use your consciousness to power it or whatever, you know. So that kind of terrified me. So that's really where my head is at. It's just, well, I guess I'll dumb it down because I've been talking a lot. My thing is, I don't want a system controlling my body in order to, you know, really do what I can, if that makes sense. Like having the augmentation and all of that, and really being wholeheartedly as God intended for you to be created, that's what I don't want, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you want to be sovereign of yourself, because
Exactly.
more augmented people are, they will be more dependent of the system, and now, you know, that's over.
And you just have to
more
keep
control.
Yeah, it's over completely.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you go in, especially knowing that you're going to be out, like you give in and you sign the paper and you say, okay, I'm going to do this. I don't know if people really realize that part of it, that eventually you're going to end up being like, that's it for you. You're signing over. You're basically telling him it's okay that they're going to take control of your life, your body, even everything about you, including death.
Right. I think the most important thing, if you're just put it in a nutshell, it's like, okay, some of this stuff looks appealing. I get it when you're talking to like, you know, a younger generation kind of a thing. I get that it looks kind of cool and kind of appealing and whatnot. But what do you think about not really having a choice? Like, you don't have a choice for what's being put in your food and your water and your air. You don't have a choice that they're running these programs in a way that leads you towards choosing it, even if you didn't want it. If you wanted to be what you or God intended to be, or however you want to look at it, naturally born, organic human life, biologically, you know, whole, you're not going to be that anymore. And you don't have the choice.
Yeah.
They'll package it in a way that leads you to making that choice and to lure you in, whether it's temptation or eventually it'll be forced. There will be something that could happen if they need to where they drop bodies, like you were saying earlier, where they're gonna remove a whole lot of people all at once, or over time, whatever they want to do, whatever necessary.
Augmented people.
But regardless, people don't have the choice. If you don't have the choice to choose this, then how is it really a choice? Because they're offering it like it's a packaged thing, or like you purchase it or whatever. No, it's already in you, and that's what they're not telling you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My belief is that it can't override free will. If you are, you know, as the Bible says, if you have the mark of God, then mark of Jesus, mark of Christ. What? I'm fucking it up. What is it? The mark of the seal of God. Then you are, it's kind of like the lamb's blood over the door kind of thing. Like, you will not be afflicted because you, and I think that's metaphoric, because I think if you are walking in objective morality, you are not in the frequencies, these lower vibrations that these systems can really exploit you. If you're not in greed, if you're not in envy, lust, pride, ego, if you're not in those low anger, rage, those frequencies, it seems to be where you're accessible. You're more permeable and perturbable, because you're off your objective center, your objectively moral center.
Right. I think that's why they're trying to kill things, even if you don't have a spiritual walk necessarily, or a specific spiritual walk, you don't believe in the Bible, or you don't believe in these things. They're trying to kill whatever it is that is inside of us, that is love, that is hope, that is unconditional love, that is willing to lay your life down for another, seeing.
And also the spark of creativity, beauty, inspiration. That's our, humans are that.
You know,
we're made of the, I'm sorry. I just want to say, we are made of the image of God. The God is a creator. So we are also this expansive force, and that's what they are also killing.
Is it Darian? Am I saying that right? Just spoke about them not wanting us to be caring. When I was a primary caregiver, there were a number of people who just were really negative about that. And told me to put my mom in a nursing home and go live my life. And you know, that because I was a caregiver, primary caregiver for a number of family members, that was wrong, and I, you know, I was evil. There was even a person that I didn't know me, but they heard about me, sent me a letter and bawled me out. So yeah, there is an attack on people, and I'm just saying this to just touch on your point that there is an attack on people, not to be caring and about other people, and to do things to help other people out, unfortunately.
Right. It's kind of like attached to what we were talking about earlier, about even when you're a kid and you have the thoughts and dreams about what you don't want to be, and people just keep telling you, no, you can't do that. Just stay in line. Just stay in school. Blah, blah, blah. You don't want to go out there. You don't want to try that. Yada, yada, yada. It's the same thing with what I think you're talking about there, Amiel, where it's like, you're caring for people, but now the answer, Canada, they're offering suicide. I think it's to all ages, but they're understaffed, and Crystal can tell you about this. We've had her on, and she's talked about it. The nursing homes are understaffed, and that is the age group has gone from the younger age groups committing the most suicide to the elderly population, because they don't want to go to the nursing homes, because that's where society has been, for whatever reason, programmed to want to just send them to. At a certain age, you're going to a home, you're getting sent there, and then everybody else gets to go on and live their life until, I guess, they go into a home. But you don't think about that until you're in that situation, I guess. There's less empathy. We were talking about that movie Lucy earlier, and that was the whole thing. Like, her IQ increased dramatically, but her emotional, she didn't have that emotion anymore, or care necessarily. She wasn't cruel, but she didn't have like the sadness. She just was all intellectual decision making, which is more like what they want. Humanism, robotic, exactly. Or when you
there are several movies that they exist that they're always talking about some kind of vaccine that will remove emotions from humans. And there are this particular one, I don't remember the name, that even people see things in black and white. They even remove their ability to see color. And there are these memory keepers, let's say, that they have something in their DNA, something like that. They have the ability to remember. They are the only ones to kind of remember emotions. So there are a lot of movies, the things that humans will be better, humanity will be better if you remove emotions. But that's what makes us humans for begin with. So what are we? Non-people. We are not people anymore. We're not human anymore.
Right. And there's a video of Bill Gates when he was younger talking to some audience in a study hall of some sort, where he was talking about creating a vaccine that would take the God out of us.
Yep. That's so crazy, because I was just thinking about that right before you said it. I remember seeing that a few years ago.
Right. And I was taking into consideration some of this stuff could be certain psyops, but he's also trying to take away the sun. They're trying to blot out the sun so we don't get as much sunlight into this planet, which
I 100% believe that he did that. Look at all the other things that it's known, and that he's, that's still out there, more recent.
I think they tell us because they have full control. They can say whatever they want without acting like it. The politicians will continue to act. They're fighting for it. But if you look at their actions, they're not doing that. Bill Gates, that was a long time ago, but he was talking about vaccines to remove our spiritual gifts. And they talk about the pineal gland. Some of that gets into a little woo-woo, new agey kind of stuff, where the people focus on it so much that it becomes like the main focus. And then where's your faith? Anyways, he wanted to create a vaccine, and they've talked about it, to remove God, remove the spiritual aspect of us, because that is what gives us hope and what makes us powerful. It connects into the biofield stuff. It connects into all the things that we're talking about here on this channel, and that Sabrina is trying to impart on the world. And then they're trying to blot out the sun, and they're saying these things. And then there's also a guy, I can remember his name. He's high up in some form, like billionaire or whatnot, but he says science isn't true. Science is all about narratives. Like these people are so out of touch with what is really going on in the world that when they speak, they say the truth because they're fucking retarded in the sense that they don't have any bearing on humanity. It's like Trump acting like he's a man for the people when he really doesn't know what it's like to be poor. He doesn't know what it's like to live a normal life. He doesn't care. He uses the system the way the system's built, and it favors elites and people with power. These people will literally tell you, even if they don't mean to put it out there, because they're that retarded in the sense of having no empathy anymore for the human condition and what people are really going through on a whole.
Right. Well, it's also the fact that if you have that much money, you don't have to censor yourself, because you could just, if you do get fined or whatever it is, it's not a big deal to them. And so they don't have to worry about it, and they have more power, than any of us.
People are so overwhelmed with so many information, so many things all the way that honestly, even if the authority of a country will say the truth, I don't think people will raise will even be mad at this point. I hope I'm wrong, honestly. In a lot of things I said, I hope I'm wrong. But
yeah, me too. Yeah, all of us, I think, are the same on that one.
And just, just for saying, we're almost 3 a.m. of the morning. So just don't take me very seriously. Thank you.
At this point, don't take me
At
very
this point,
seriously.
just let me be. Let me rumble you.
All right. Let you mumble and rumble. All right. There was one more book that you had to share. Pull that up, Charlie. This one.
Yeah, I would love it if we could do like a first, let me preface this by saying, Moses, what you were saying about your concerns with essentially being, overridden, your will being overridden. I think that is an echoing concern across a few generations. The boomers are largely unaware of it, but I think it's also been injected so much into the zeitgeist through film, television, books for generations, the idea of robots taking over us and overpowering our free will entirely. I am of the belief that you really have to give into it, which is to give into the sin nature in Christianity, at least, where you're being motivated by lower objectives. So that, and there's also an overriding concern of being sucked out. Okay, Dorian, can you pull up that picture also that I sent you? It's from the movie Hook. I don't know if you guys remember this scene from the movie Hook where the little boy is on the airplane with his dad, Robin Williams, and Robin Williams is freaking out because he hates flying and he's afraid he's going to get sucked out the window. And the kid's just like, oh my God, you're afraid you're going to get sucked out. Like, that's hilarious. You think so he's totally ribbing his father for being a pussy. And this is the thing that comes to mind when I hear people talk about, like, you're going to be uploaded somewhere. You're going to be sucked out. Your soul is now part of this system. I don't believe that personally, but our mind, our body, even our biofield is terrestrial, which we're working with this system. The spirit and the soul, I believe personally, is outside of that. And that is untouchable. In the video game analogy, it's the controller of the video game. You really can't touch him, but you can kill his guy in the video game. And then he'll go get pizza, So that's my perspective. But I do see that fear, the fear of being sucked out, injected deliberately in media and in the new age and in a lot of discussions in the truther movement. And to me, it seems, just a demoralizing, maybe a demoralization psyop to alter our perception more towards apathy and hopelessness. Because it says, the Bible says you have free will, but you really don't. That's my thoughts. I just wanted to.
I agree, because I think I said that in the last time I been here. It's weird that they've been doing this for centuries.
Yeah. Trying
to dim the light, this rebellious light that we have. This is not from yesterday. So I also believe that, I don't think they can't really. And like I said, if you believe in a God or universe or whatever entity, whatever is your belief, that really is this big, it will be protecting and leading everyone to go home in a spiritual level. And this physical, body, stuff like that they belong to here. Yeah. But, eventually, and I think they really scare people that have spiritual belief that, your soul gonna be stuck here. So imagine that is true, that for some reason the soul is kind of like in this prison. that does not mean that is forever. I think that maybe some kind of trick that they maybe can do for some people. But I mean, you really think that God, the universe, the creator of this, just don't put something in place that can unblock that? If you go into the analogy of the game, it will be the person who made the game. They know all the cheat codes. It's like,
yeah.
And so I know that if for us, we are afraid and we suffer, and it's difficult when you have in this situation to have this perspective. So it's good that when we are more calm and more to breathe and to go to ourselves and remember that if we believe in a God, I hope you believe in a powerful one, not a small one. I hope your God, whatever you believe, is powerful enough to guide you home eventually when your time is come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a discussion though that I'm willing to have, because it sometimes doesn't feel like we have a whole lot of free will, or we only have a minimal.
Yeah, you have a minimal, but the thing is that they do so much for you to give up, that they must have something in you and in all of us that they don't want to rise. It's not. I'm not saying that you can just override the system by your will, because I think that is very challenging, and I don't think that people can eventually do that, sadly, in this moment. But that is our path to like Sabrina said, we go through it, right? And that is our path to go. But I think it's very difficult there are some people that they give up, but that's on them in their own path with themselves and the world. But God is still guiding them and trying to, eventually wake up or their soul go home. But, I do think we have free will, because why they do this century after century after century, generations after generations after generations. You see, because if there was something that they could put in the food, in the water, in the jab, that's it. Why all the rest?
Mm-hmm.
Why always all the generations, all the things? They must have something in us that does not give up.
Remnant DNA, like Sabrina talks
Something-
about, and if they can convince us something different.
Now, one thing is that you have free will. Another thing that they don't let you to act on it. That's two different things, right? Because even if you are in a prison, you still have free will, let's say, but you are in a cell. So it's so I think it's a little two things to remember, I guess. And well,
and they wouldn't push so hard that we don't have it.
Yeah, that's my thing. Just for me, when someone, that was like in the COVID, sometimes when you push a lot, something for me is a red flag. It's like, well, if that was not real, why so many stuff? I mean, they will just need to put something in the water, in the air. That's it. Done.
Right.
But it's not working. Why? Because there's something in us that is rebellious.
Pushes against it.
If I can just add to what you're saying, right? I do agree with the first part you said, where you said that, our soul is separate, and it's not that with their basic tier of augmentation that they can really take our soul and really trap it and do whatever they want. Although, one thing I do want to bring to your attention, I feel like if you were to go and get the Air Force Research Laboratory tier of augmentation, like with the military, I feel like then I feel like they would have control of your soul, So I don't want to talk about the lower tiers of augmentation. So, you eating nano or whatever the case may be, like how we're all augmented right now, right? But then there's tiers of it, right? There's people in the military right now that are full on augmented, you know, software as a service, banking as a service, all of that stuff. So I feel like if you do end up going that route, you know, signing and everything, boom, I feel like your soul would not
get stuck here.
Would
Maybe
be their control, you know.
Maybe like, you know, maybe reincarnation, maybe the stories of reincarnation, maybe is a some idea of the souls that are stuck here in some way, because I believe that this augmentation be doing for centuries. I don't know, but I want to, like, in my personal belief, I hope, I guess, that God will eventually bring everybody home. That's maybe my hopeful belief. But yes, I agree that some, like I said, I think some people get stuck here, can be stuck, an evil soul, maybe. And maybe that's where we have all these stories of reincarnation, maybe. And maybe some are natural, you know, maybe some people, what do I know? I don't know nothing. This is almost 3 a.m. of the morning here. I don't know nothing.
Well, I heard more people talk more honestly when they're tired.
Well, you know, just mute me at this point. Just mute me.
Loopy Lulu.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
The Loopy Lulu. No, it's a tough one. It's something to discuss. I get a lot of people out there talking about soul traps and stuff. The technology, are they really able to capture something that, I don't know, consciousness? Is it really the soul? Does God allow that? What does God allow? God allows a lot more than I ever would have imagined when you learn about the horrors of human trafficking, slavery. There's more slavery today than there ever has been. What are they really allowed to do? I mean, you got biblical stories of people being under super, like, you know, you got literally kings and queens. We even saw the Depression here in the United States, and it wasn't that long ago, where people didn't really have many options then. You didn't have a whole lot of choice. People died out. You had the Israelites. They spent hundreds of years in slavery, and they had to go through it. God does certain things for a reason that are beyond my understanding, and that look, in a way, very honestly fucked up. So why?
Yeah, also, I must say that when I think things like you, I also try to remember that time is a construct here in this realm. We have no idea in terms of time, if there are time, how that works outside of here. So, you know, here is very horrible and challenging and painful, yes. But also we don't know any of time, you know, what will be of others' realms. So, I mean, angels don't know God's plan. So it's all a mystery in the end. We're all here just, you know.
It's a mystery. It's a tough one. And Janet, I only muted you because every once in a while I get a little static. If you want to unmute yourself and talk at any time, don't hesitate. I think it might your fan, maybe it picks up or something. I don't know, but I didn't mute you to like silence you. You can unmute at any time, okay? Awesome. And then Amiel, are you still with us, or are you sleeping there, brother?
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool. All right.
Charley,
no. You have something else to add there? So here's some of the other things about like free will and stuff like that. Like those of us right here on this panel right now, regardless of, even though someone may be struggling in certain areas and whatnot, but we're here and we're able to be here. We have the freedom to be here. Great. There's a lot of people that don't have that. They're in war zones. They're in places where the internet's down. They're being bombs are going around all over the place. But then you just brought up a book a little bit ago about autism, which has spiked tremendously in a matter of a short amount of time. Do they have free will? There's an autistic person. Now you have Asperger's, which is kind of like spectrum of autistic situations that I've met. A lot of people that claim to have Asperger's, and they do have something that's a little bit different, but not quite autistic. They are hard. It's harder to detect, but on some levels they do have it, where they have inabilities to maybe connect with their empathy as much. Do they have free will? They didn't have that choice. They got freaking jabbed or done something to them, or the freaking government trying to claim that women that were taking Tylenol or something like that while they were pregnant, and all this bullshit that they put out there.
Dorian, the way I look at it is like sometimes we take hits in life neurologically, whether it's Asperger's or whatever. But I look at our body, our vehicle, even our brain as a car, right? And we are operating the vehicle. And sometimes that vehicle gets a little busted up. It's been in a few accidents. It's kind of a lemon, or, you know, the upholstery is all fucked up. Like, whatever. It doesn't make whatever your mission is driving that car to go help somebody any less valuable. You know, it's a vehicle. And the soul operating it can make an impact that is very important no matter what. So I don't see that fully as removing will and agency when people have those conditions, although it is more difficult when you're looking at some of the psychiatric conditions that plague people now, where, you know, it can get very, very dark. And that seems very interesting to me insofar as perhaps targeting deliberately.
Right. I mean, I don't want to have sympathy for some of these animals, but like at the same time, a lot of the bloodline families, the way they raise their children, they've all been molested, raped, tortured, forced into a life where they have superiors that they cannot defy. They have no other option other than death.
Yeah.
That's tough. Not to give them any sympathy because, well, you know, a rabid dog needs to be put down and laws still apply. But you got to think about some of the things that are going on this planet where you're like, I mean, God allows a certain amount. And so the only way that I've been able to think about it in some ways, and I don't know if I'll be able to say it correctly, is that those of us that do have the responsibility and are capable of certain things need to exercise our responsibilities.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I believe in perfect justice and a God that will bring perfect answers to the questions that we've had at the time when it is meant to happen. And so those of us that do have the ability and the knowledge and the capability need to exercise that to its fullest, or otherwise we are not doing a service that we were intended to do.
Yes, more awareness of things is also like you have more. That's it. My brain just gave up. But you're more responsibility. Yes, more awareness is more responsibility to things, because I believe that like God, if someone is so much targeted, whatever it is, that is in a situation where they barely can survive, I want to believe that this God knows that and will judge him in a different way than another person who actually have more access to their free will. You know, now we have more responsibility, and that is all about freedom. Freedom is responsibility. Be sovereign, be your own leader is also having this. You have to make your decisions and be brave enough to have the consequences. You know, it's not easy.
Right. Sorry.
Right. Even Christ on the cross, regardless if you believe it, if it's a story to you, on the cross, literally being murdered, and by the people that he's being murdered, he asks Father to forgive them, for they know not what they do. Such mercy on people that don't understand what they're doing, and therefore don't hold them accountable for that and let them see what they need to see.
But in the end, we all do have a choice, even though our choices maybe seem limited, and it feels like you don't really have a choice. You still really do have a choice. You can continue continue the cycle, or you can stop it. And I think Sabrina's perfect proof of that.
Yes, but I was more talking about people really, for example, in a mental breakdown, or they're really are very bad with medication, stuff like that. You know, like people. I saw people in this situation, and with the medication, they really make alterations in their brain and what they can do. So I want to believe that God will be merciful in those situations. You know, people really are. They really it's difficult to be in that way.
Right. And that comes down to judgment. That's another component of the free will, because we, based on our free will choices that we make, we have a judgment that comes with it. But we still do have a choice between doing right and wrong, even though sometimes it may not feel like it. Sometimes the consequence is death for it, but it's still a choice. The judgment part, that's another deal. I do believe that when it comes to judgment, it's, well, thank God it's not up to me in some cases, but that's just something that's between you and your creator, the one that judges you. It's not a really place to do it, but
the real judgment will be between you and God. I mean, the rest is who knows.
Yeah, because that's the only one that can really see your heart.
Yeah,
see you.
Exactly. And God is the God that I believe in, perfection, because there is love and there is beauty and there is authenticity, and it does seem there is a truth, even though it gets really murky and it's hard to see in this limited abilities, limited and then suppressed existence. I do believe in perfect justice and that God knows all things and that will make all things right. So that's what I have my hope in. I think we'll close up this streama, and anybody that wants to go around the room and say anything before we close out, I welcome that. And it's been great having Janet, Amiel, and Moses on for the first time. Thank you all for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you. It was nice being here and all. I'll just say, when people work together, there's things that we can achieve, positive results and all. Yes, there's challenges. Let's work together on things and let's do what we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if I could just piggyback of what Booma was saying. So I was talking to a friend, and she really gave me the opportunity to really break down everything, right? The systems, augmentation, what's going on, the healthcare. And then she said, I'm going to become a biomedical engineer. And then I said, that's really all you got from everything that I said? And then she said, if someone is going to be hitting buttons, I want it to be me. So she's saying she wants access to her own body area network, right? So, and I'm like, well, you're also hitting buttons on people. And she said that she didn't care. And that if God, it goes back to the free will aspect. She said that we don't really have free will because these are my options. And I'm like, no, you also have the option to do a bunch of other things. But she's like, no, the only options for me right now, if I want to succeed later, are, biomedical engineering, data centers, the human augmentation market share, right? She said that she wants a piece of that. And she believes that these are her only options. So I guess in her mind, free will is subjective. But yeah, it was just to piggyback of what Booma was saying about free will. But yeah, she's gonna go on and become a biomedical engineer so she can have access to her own body area network. And no matter what happens, she said, So.
Hey, that's her choice, I guess. But being misled by whatever.
Yeah.
But that's just my take from my perspective. I guess she has her own free will.
I agree. I was shook. I was like, is that really what you got from everything that I've told you? Like, yeah. I'm going to go become better. And I'm like...
little ego driven to think that you have that, you're going to have that power if you go that direction, because there's going to be roadblocks.
Right. I don't understand why people think they really are going to have control of it, though, because it comes from somewhere else. Like, you're getting this drop down from somewhere else. What makes you think that you have complete control?
What it does illustrate more than anything is the panic. The panic sets in. Immediately we go to selfish, That's what it's
right.
She just learned something that was paradigm shifting for her perspective and her perception. And she immediately went to, I got to protect myself. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's
I'm gonna get mine.
That's where they're pushing everybody into. That is the adversarial force, and our cross to bear being, you know, born in this time, that weight, that heaviness. But, you know, you lift weights like that, you get fucking really strong too. So we can take this opportunity to to build some muscle.
That's the average response I've been getting from people my age. Like, I'm like, hey, you know, let's get control of our own bodies. Let's pyrorect. They're like, fuck that. Talk to me about money, right? Talk to me about that, right?
Yep.
And, you know, hey, what can I do, you know?
I get it, man. That's how all the algorithms are programmed for young people, especially to see people living great, even though most of it's a lie, or people are taxed out on max credit cards, but making it look like they're living a great lifestyle, or they're out there social influencers, or they're just they got vanity and they're good looking people and they get away with a lot more than most people by that very standard that a lot of people idolize. It's crazy. This world is nuts. But in closing, Janet, did you want to say anything before we get out of here? It was such a blessing that you shared all your poochies with us and hung out with us. I love some of your perspective.
Well, I think that people have to decide whether they want heaven here on earth, as well as hell. I mean, you get to choose when you wake up in the morning, in my opinion. You put your feet on the floor and you decide what it's going to look like. I mean, that's what keeps me going. Basically, is just having a positive perspective about what's going on around me. I do delve into a lot of this stuff, but I think sometimes too much information can be overwhelming.
Sure.
And some of it is pertinent and some of it's not pertinent. But I think people have to make a conscious choice about how they want to live their life on this planet. And I mean, it's served me well for 71 years. So, I mean, I'm not about to change my perspective on that. People can live how they choose, but when you get that negative thought in your head, it changes a lot of things that go on around you too. So stay positive and live in the moment and figure you're in heaven already and make it happen.
Yeah, I like that. We got to take care of ourselves to be better for others, and you're there taking care of fur babies. You've made some great choices in life that have worked out for you, and so you have a lot of wisdom to share on others, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you'll join more. You didn't get scared away, did you? I wasn't too out of control for you. No spanking. I mean, now I know the seriousness of it. You're not just bringing hands. You're bringing a
so
paddle,
funny.
and I didn't realize that, so I'm going to have to reassess running towards it. Not as excited.
Careful, that paddle's still here.
Yeah, it looks like a very sturdy paddle as well.
Janet's going to reach right through the internet with that paddle. She'll reach right through the internet and hit you with it.
That paddle's so dangerous. This video might get taken down. That was a deadly weapon. Just joking.
We can thank Robin for that.
Right. Loopy Lulu, you have any final words? I would love to hear your loopiness here at the end here.
I will just say, you know, in the end of the day, it's going back to ourselves and give yourself a big hug, and you are doing much better than maybe you think. Yeah. So you all have this, you know. We all have this in a way or another. And I'm already sleeping, so whatever.
You're already asleep. You'll wake up. It'll be like a dream, but it was a beautiful dream, right?
And then you get to watch the replay.
Yeah. You get to watch the replay, and I was like, I can't believe I said that.
100%. I don't remember what I said, so please be kind.
Oh man, and we appreciate you all. I know some of you are dipping out. It's time for bed for everybody. We'll go to Heather. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday once again. 39 years old. It's quite the accomplishment. Always great to have you here. Heather, like I said, over and over again, helps put these together. Gives me the schedule and tells me who's decided to sign up. Some people don't show up. Some people can make it. It's all good. We make it happen. But I appreciate her. And thank you, Heather.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you, Dorian, for providing this platform and for the opportunity to help you with this too, and community build is really important to me. So it's a blessing all the way around, I feel like. Thank you very much for all the great birthday gifts and videos and everything, the song. I just appreciate you all very much. So thank you.
Awesome. It's beautiful.
Thank you for being here.
And Charley, would you like to close us out?
Sorry about the song.
Oh, it's okay. You made me crying over here.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm touched. Yeah.
Okay. Laughing or crying was okay. I just didn't want abject shame, humiliation, and embarrassment for you. And my husband has a tendency to do that to people.
It's my superpower.
I appreciate you too, Zane, very much. You've been great. A great part of the community as well.
Oh, thank you.
He's been very supportive of my diving into this group of amazing people.
Yeah.
I've watched you guys, lurking for a long time. So thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure. Some great people here. Zane, you want to say something before we go?
Sure, I'll say something regarding. I know I'm gonna just dip on a topic, but I'm so happy to see Moses here as a younger person coming in. You said something last stream that I actually wanted to comment about, and it relates to him, which is that you said that all the Californians were going to Texas and turning it into a blue state because they all migrate there and change the politics, right? But actually, when you look at the numbers, there was a great example when Ted Cruz and Beto O'Rourke were running for Senate, right? And Beto O'Rourke almost beat Ted Cruz. The perception was that Californians had come and turned Texas almost blue, right? But that's not what happened. If you looked at the numbers, the Californians that moved to Texas overwhelmingly voted for the conservative candidate. The problem that Texas faced was all of the people under the age of 30 were voting for Beto O'Rourke. So it goes back to also what Sabrina talks about with the Mao Revolution coming in, that your problem is never the immigrant. Your problem is never the people that are coming into your area. The problem is they already got you through the public education system.
Yeah, the liberals aren't leaving California. Only the conservatives did. They went to Texas because they thought it was red, and they got there and they're like, fuck, this is even worse.
Right. So that's what I wanted to leave on. Moses, we need more of your age demographic because it sucks every time because every single generation gets told you guys are the future, and then they get old and they go, why'd you fuck it all up? And it's like, well, I didn't do anything. This whole system just landed on my head. What am I doing? It's like
your voice is so important here.
So, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to a lot more of these. You guys are great people. It really warms my heart to finally see you guys behind the funny memes, the lovely messages, the community, and I'll definitely be attending more of them and meeting a lot more people of the community and spreading awareness, just doing my job and as a human, as a basic human. And thank you so much, guys, for this opportunity. I really loved it. I really enjoyed it. And I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back.
Yep. We look forward to it. Amiel, Janet, Moses, thank you for joining for the first time. We look forward to having you on many more. Everybody that was here, everybody that tunes into the replay, God bless you. Hope you're blessed by this, and it made you think about some things, made you laugh, and we had some good times. See a lot of radiating hearts in the live chat, and I always love to see that. Sabrina popped in for a moment. Hope you're all well. More to come on that. More to come on the Booma Streamas. And community building, baby. That's what it's all about. God bless, and catch you on the next one. Peace.